Oh, you know what I love?
Sports.
I love sports.
Sports. When
It comes to Texas A&M.
Where are you getting this information?
Let me tell you.
Welcome to TexAgs.
It's here. It's time. There's always a buzz in the air when you hit this moment.
He is a guy that has gotten better and better and better. He's just got that dog in him.
We will develop men. We will graduate players, and we will win championships on the field.
I think of him as this hawk. Before long, he's going to be swooping in on those quarterbacks.
Coach Elko's my guy, right? Like, I love him. I love Michael Early. Like, I think Bucky's going to be incredible.
It's football, man. And that's what Warriors do. They don't want to sit out.
And this is a real program. It's not fake. This is a real place. And if you want to be really good at football, this is a really good place to be.
You know, if I'm betting on anybody, it's the Aggies.
Buchanan.
Nuño, or Nuño.
9-0. There you go. You said 9-0. I was like, pardon?
Nuño.
Nuño? El Nuño? Let's talk a little Aggie football, shall we?
Yeah, there's never a bad time to talk A&M football.
Mario Craver questionable.
Yeah, okay. I don't like that, but I will say this. If he had, we don't know if he'll miss a game because he's questionable, but if he has to miss an SEC game, if he has to.
This is the one you want to
This is the one.
Why is this the one?
Well, first of all, I think that I think you're just a better team than South Carolina, and you can win without him. But because the reason I believe that is I believe that South Carolina has issues in run defense. And so I think this is a game that you can win both sides of the line of scrimmage, dominate the line of scrimmage, and you can really put an emphasis on your running game. And so maybe you don't have to be as dependent on your receivers. Plus, also, I feel very confident in Ashton Bethel-Roman and Terry Bussey, and maybe even like to get a look at Isaiah Williams.
Yep. So what do you think the biggest issue was? Damontre Moore wants to join the show today, so he may join us at some point. What do you think the biggest issue was last year against, the answer is obvious, I think, but against South Carolina?
Lenora Sellers and trying to get him down and failing to do so and allowing him to make plays off schedule and so on and so forth.
Coach Elko last night on the Aggie Happy Hour show. I always call it the Happy Hour show, the Aggie Football Hour. I don't know why.
Yeah, but everybody's happy, especially
to...
right now when you're 9-0.
Elko on tackling Lenora Sellers says, I think our kids have a better understanding. Obviously, none of that worked last year, and we didn't tackle him. But after that happens, we now have a better understanding. He's an incredible athlete. I hope they have a better understanding.
Yeah, I liked what Elko said earlier this week on Monday when he said, if we don't understand it, he'll do it again.
Yeah.
Because of all the things, he was very colorful about the way. Look, Lenora Sellers is not the problem at South Carolina. In fact, South Carolina is, what measure of success they've had is largely or might completely due to Lenora Sellers. And I think the best thing you can do with Lenora Sellers is keep him in the pocket.
Yes. And by the way, Nuño's notes will come out today at noon. Newsflash.
Nuño at noon.
Nuño at noon, yeah.
Okay.
The double N. 9-0. So
9-0
there's
Nuño
a third N right
at
there.
noon.
But one of the things that was consistent with the several people I spoke with was Lenora Sellers has taken a step back, but it's not his fault. It is, they're putting it completely on Mike Shula's offense.
Okay.
Because it's a prehistoric NFL style of offense that does not work in college football anymore. It's conservative. It doesn't allow Lenora Sellers out of the pocket as much. And they feel that it's going to be a different look because the offensive line coach basically called the game against Alabama, and it was a much closer game than I think some people expected. And they felt that the offense flowed much better in that world. And now he's the one calling the plays. How different does that make Lenora Sellers? That is something I'm keeping my eyes on.
That's understandable. And I just don't know how much you can change the offense you've been running all year in 2 weeks. And also, they still scored 22 points.
Yeah.
All right. So it's not like they went out there with a new coach and all of a sudden they were this air raid and, scoring all over the place. What I'm more, my confidence is more boosted by the fact that I think the offensive line is, well, they've given up like 130. I've given up like 34 sacks.
Yep.
Those are still the same guys that are blocking.
Scoon, do me a favor, and I don't mean to go back. Go ahead.
And Alabama can't run the football. Alabama doesn't run on anybody.
You're right about that.
And so,
give me that matchup in the SEC championship game.
So that's what Alabama doesn't run anybody. So that's why South Carolina stayed close, because they have run defense issues, but against Alabama that doesn't matter.
Find out how many times Lenore Sellers was sacked heading into the A&M game, because I feel like it was an astronomical number.
Last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 30 times.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And look, I'm not trying to compare this year to last year, because it is a completely different year.
They got none. The Aggies got none last year.
They should have had one at least on the second play of the game.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and by the way, there's a lot of different things I want to get into this hour with the OB, but we'll continue going down that path, because nobody is. I'm starting to hear trends of the way people talk about A&M, and I just want to kind of chew on some things, but we'll move on right now. Another thing that Coach Elko talked about yesterday, which I think has been a very good topic that we have on this show talked about, but he says it a little differently, talking about adding guys through the portal to this team. He goes, "We want kids that fit us and want to build our championship culture. It's flashy when kids transfer, but the reality is the best teams are built by players who have been in the program for a long time." Then you find those supplemental pieces like KC, Mario, and Cassius to add for impact.
Yeah.
Here.
We've talked about that before. That's why I think what he's doing will prove to be, much more sustainable than teams that rely heavily on the portal. Arkansas, remember the first year on Sam Pittman? They hit on everybody in the portal, and they went out and I think won 9 games, 8 or 9. Because everybody they got in the portal seems like they
were 8-4, won their bowl game, 9.
And then the next year, they didn't hit so much, and the next year they haven't hit so much, and he's no longer the coach there.
Yeah.
Now Lane Kiffin is the one that just keeps winning, despite basically living in the portal.
Yeah, he hits.
He did. Of course, their schedule helped him out this year.
One other bite I wanted to get into before I tell you about what I think I'm planning on doing with social media.
Okay.
But before that, Coach Elko on the Happy Hour show, that's my new name for it, talking about the South Carolina defense. Everybody has edge rushers, but these guys are a cut above. Dylan Stewart is dynamic. We have to keep Marcel clean and can't allow their defensive line to take over the game.
Yeah, I think Dylan Stewart is really good. I'm so shocked that he has like 3 sacks, but I guess that's because everybody's double teaming him.
Yep.
And chipping him on top of that, because that's the first guy you
go after.
I mean, he's their version of Cassius Howell.
Yep.
The difference is Cassius might be a little bit better and a better pass rusher.
Yep.
And A&M has other guys you really have to worry about. Probably more so than South Carolina.
Another thing we'll learn on Nuño's notes, they struggle on mobile quarterbacks. Does A&M have a mobile quarterback?
A&M does have a mobile quarterback.
At one point,
he's the gingerbread man.
The gingerbread man. We're actually going to hear somebody who speaks very highly of the gingerbread man, but pokes holes in his game a little bit later on in this hour. So kind of want to chew on that for a moment. All right, so I think I'm going to go on a social media cleanse. Doom scrolling and reading what other people think about A&M, politics, life. It's only there to soak up time that doesn't matter and either anger you or solidify your thoughts. Echo chamber world, right?
Yeah.
You're either in this like, A&M's got the hardest schedule in America. A&M's got the worst schedule in America. That's a lot of what you see.
Yeah.
There's this guy. Apparently, he's a Big Ten reporter. Okay. His name is John J.R. Rhodes.
Okay.
And look,
I wonder if he's related to Mac.
He might be Mac's son. Okay. He loves the Big Ten.
Okay.
I think he's an Illinois guy, but I mean, the way he talks about the Big Ten, it's just like SEC Mike on steroids about how SEC Mike loves the SEC. Okay. Here's let's go with tweet number 1, Nick, if you don't mind, and I might have you. Do you have that, or did I lie to you?
I have the very last one, but I can read you the first one.
Read us the first one.
Okay. He says, Big Ten teams are always Big Ten teams that are better or close to the same as the top teams in the SEC that no one talks about. USC is equal to Georgia. Iowa is better than Ole Miss. Oregon is equal to Texas A&M. Michigan is better than Texas.
Would you agree or disagree?
Um,
I think this guy's just trying to be controversial. I saw his followers go from like 5,000 to 6,000 because of these tweets yesterday. But go ahead.
I mean, I don't know.
Do you think USC is Georgia?
If USC and Georgia played, I would pick Georgia.
Would you pick Georgia by more than a touchdown?
Probably. The problem there would be that I'd be concerned, though, is that Georgia has no pass rush and USC can throw it.
What's the other teams he said there? We'll go line by line.
Of course.
Iowa is better than Ole Miss.
Yeah, I would.
I'd say no.
I would take Ole Miss in that one.
And I would say Ole Miss would win by more than a touchdown.
Oh, Iowa has a legit defense.
They do, but didn't Indiana put didn't they? Was that the close game though? Who did?
Yeah, Indiana beat them like 20-15 or something.
Who's the team that Indiana curb stomped?
Illinois.
Okay. Oh, and he likes Illinois. What's the next one?
Oregon is equal to Texas A&M.
I don't know, but I mean, I think A&M. The rather comparison between Oregon and A&M would be more Indiana and A&M, and that's what we're getting in the college football playoff rankings.
Yeah, I think I personally would take A&M over Oregon. It's interesting though. He was very careful, I'm sure, not to put A&M associate them with USC because USC lost to Notre Dame
and A&M
badly,
beat
and A&M beat Notre Dame.
What's the last one he
And
said?
the last one is he says Michigan is better than Texas.
It pains me to say this,
Texas is better than Michigan.
but I think Texas is better than Michigan. They were last year. This year, Michigan is a better team than they were last year, and Justice Haynes is having a really good year. But I heard this on the radio today coming in, and I haven't been paying close enough attention to Michigan. I heard that Underwood, Bryce Underwood, has 7 touchdown passes all year.
He's got 7.
3 interceptions, 7 touchdown passes. And he's been over 250 yards passing in one game all year.
That would surprise me.
This is like the $15 million quarterback.
Yeah.
And I know he's only a true freshman. Okay, so I get that. But still.
That's a little surprising.
Yeah, I was shocked.
And I thought he had a pretty good start to the year, too.
I guess. I got to admit, I haven't paid that close enough attention to him. But so that's why that surprised me. This kid that's supposed to make the huge difference in that offense. So I would have to take I have to take Texas if they play. So obviously I disagree with him. But, look, I got to tell you this. I'm not going to have an issue with somebody who's beating the drum, a Big Ten fan beating the drum for the Big Ten, because quite frankly, let's be honest, SEC fans have been for more than for 2 decades,
100%,
have been rubbing everybody's nose in it.
I agree, but I think it's worth a conversation. Here is the other tweet, and Nick, I don't know if our eyes will be good for us to read this, so if you can help us out when you play that tweet. John J.R. Rhodes.
Are you talking about the one with all the data?
Yeah. Wait,
Okay.
is that the one? Is there?
Or there's one more at the very bottom. That's the one I pulled. He
It would
said at the
appear
very end.
the
Yeah.
SEC fans have forgotten that their top tier teams went 5-1 against the Big Ten in the playoffs and bowl games last year. Oh, okay. Let's talk about last year. That doesn't matter for this year.
That's true.
What is the SEC's record this year against all the other power conferences? I think it's 10-4.
10-4.
Okay, and it's 2-1 against the Big Ten. Okay, so tremenda. Couldn't say what I wanted to say.
Yeah. First of all, if you're going to bring out the playoff games last year, okay, I'll accept that. Ohio State did beat Texas. They beat Tennessee. They won the national championship. They were the best team. Okay.
Yeah.
But bowl games to me, especially now, don't matter because rarely do you see a true representative of that team because so many guys opt out now.
Yeah.
So the team you're seeing play, for instance, Texas A&M last year, did not Nick Scorton sit out that bowl game and did not
The
Shamars step out? 3 guys. So they didn't play, and there were other guys that didn't play, and same for USC. So it's not a true representation anymore. So if you want to give me the bowl games, I'll say, yeah.
I think didn't Will Lee not playing that too, or am I making that up?
That might be the case. I can't recall, but I know other guys said it. So the point is that if you're going to use bowl games to try to as a reason, evidence of your superiority, I would say that's very flimsy evidence. But if you're going to say the playoff, I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one.
I see.
Yeah, I did not believe
Yeah, I thought so. So, and by the way, I'm sorry, I don't think last year matters.
Well, it doesn't.
A&M beat Notre Dame this year. They lost to them last year. It's a different year.
It's a different year.
It's freaking like different players.
Different players.
Bro?
Yeah.
You could use
Bro
there,
bro.
right? Like it's so I think the Big Ten they do have two of the three best teams in the country. That's a fact. Okay? Right now, I mean, if you want to split up the order however you want, but right now, I think that's fine. But I still believe in my heart, and maybe because I drink the maroon/blue SEC Kool-Aid, I think that the SEC, tell me if I'm wrong, 8 teams have a legitimate chance to make the playoffs this year, or is it 7?
I think 7 have a legitimate chance. Maybe not all 7 will get in, but I think now, I'm picking 5 to get in.
Okay. And in the Big Ten, how many have a legitimate chance?
I guess 4 if you're being kind. I think that would require Michigan beating Ohio State, which I don't think will happen. But if they did, they would get in.
So, okay. Now, I want to pause for a moment. So 4, my voice cracked, to 7 or 8. So half of the SEC in November, pretty much half, okay, has a chance to make the playoffs. 4 in the Big Ten have a chance to make the playoffs. Okay, so I just want to let's chew on that for a moment, and then realize that these teams play each other, and the bad teams in the SEC have to play these teams, and maybe they're not so bad because half the league is freaking good.
Well, you know,
I feel like I'm getting really loud.
Yeah, you're
passionate. I just wish I could just talk like a normal person.
And the thing that I use a metric to show the SEC's superior or power. I want to say their power. And I talked about this yesterday and brought it up with Lucci. And I know it's not the Big Ten, but Texas Tech leads the Big 12. They're probably going to be Big 12 champion, and they have 1 loss, and it was to Arizona State, who was beaten by Mississippi State,
who's got 1 win in the conference.
Who's got 1 win in the conference. Now, they've been competitive in games.
Absolutely. Outside of Georgia and A&M, they've been very competitive.
So you know, if that doesn't, you know, they're a lower tier team. And if that doesn't give you an indication of how strong the SEC is, then you just don't want to see it.
But the best part is we get to find out.
Yeah. That's why the rankings and all this other stuff doesn't really matter to me, because I know you're going to get to actually settle it on the field. Back when I was a youngster, or when our guest,
Jeremy,
the soldier Jeremy Ankrum, when he was a younger guy,
Ankrum Asylum,
when he was a younger guy, it was all dependent on voting and opinions, and so these rankings really mattered. They just don't really matter as much anymore. You can complain about seeding and things like that, but you're still going to get a chance to settle it on the field.
So, by the way, this is TexAgs Live.
This is.
We're 19 minutes into it. We went so long yesterday that we just caused an eruption of events. So we got to make sure we rein it back in.
Yeah, let's do it.
We tell the people that we're presented. We tell the people that we're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers.
Yes.
That we're in the Rollo Insurance Studio.
We are.
This hour
is the go hour.
Presented by
the Warehouse at CC Creations, and we're currently in the Holistic Planning Cool Zone.
That's right. Up high in the Holistic Planning Cool Zone. And if you want to call the show,
yes,
you can do that by calling the
Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline.
That phone number, by the way,
979-693-1150.
That is 1,000% the phone number. And if you call it, the great Emily will pick it up and put you on hold, and we'll talk to you on that number.
We'll do that.
Yeah? Let's go around the room, left to right, and say hi to the people. We've already heard from Nick Savage, but we want to say hi to him.
Hi, Nick.
Hey.
Hey.
You want to tell us anything or not?
I just think some of those points made by our good friend on Twitter don't add up.
The good old J.R. Rhodes?
Yeah, J.R. Rhodes. He might be a cool guy. He probably is a cool guy.
I don't know him.
I feel like him and Big Ten Matthew Dawson would get along very well.
Oh, is Matthew Dawson?
Matthew Dawson's a Big Ten shill because he's from up north. So
he all about the Big Ten?
Oh, he's a big Big Ten guy. Say
He's
that
out of the circle of
fast 3
trust.
times.
He will not be invited to Festivus.
Huh. Little Matt is a Big Ten guy.
Yeah, well, they got a little conference complex. Anyway, we go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Alex Schoonover, I heard you laugh at Festivus. Do you even know what Festivus is about?
I don't. I was just laughing because I thought it was funny. It's a funny word.
Festivus for the rest
People
of us.
his age don't know Seinfeld. They didn't watch
How do you
it.
not know Seinfeld?
Tony, I don't know anything old school.
It's not that old. Okay, it's 40
It
years
actually is pretty
Very
old.
old. You know, okay. To me, Cheers was. I didn't watch Cheers a lot.
I was in high school when it came out.
But I remember when people talked about Cheers. Like I watched it. It was on, right? Like
Yeah.
Ted Danson, great. You know, he was the baseball guy, whatever. Rhea Perlman.
Yeah.
You know, she was
Norm.
cool. Norm. You know,
Yeah.
the mailman.
Cliff Clavin.
Yeah.
Cliff Clavin.
But like that show is kind of like when people talk about it like being the best show ever. It's like whatever, dude. That's for like.
It was pretty awesome.
But Seinfeld's the best. Schoonover, we're so late for a break. We don't want to cause a chain of events. So just tell us one thing and we'll move on.
I was going back to the stat that you told me to look up. How many times Norris was sacked before the A&M game? Sacked 25 times. And then I saw another stat. He was sacked 33 total times last year. And at this time in this season, he's been sacked 33 times. So I'm looking for a Cassius Howell hat trick.
And once again, how many did he get sacked by A&M?
0.
Cero. Ninguno.
Yeah.
Nada.
More Spanish. Come on, do it. Do it.
Nada. Oh, you mean want more than that?
Yeah. Nueve y cero. 9 or 9.
Sí.
Say it. Nueve
Nueve.
y cero.
Es cero.
You're so American.
Yeah.
By the way, I am too. America. Let's talk about the most American thing you can do for lunch on a Thursday, Friday, or a Saturday.
Oh, you go to 1775. And the reason it's 1775, Justin, is because that was the year.
Jeremy.
I'm sorry, I'm in too much of a hurry, Jeremy. That's the year that the United States military was born.
I love the military.
I do too. I'll admit it. I'm too big of a wuss to go out and pick up a gun and have to fight our country's battles. So my heroes are those people that will do it for me and volunteer to do so, and they deserve to barbecue like you get at 1775.
They absolutely deserve it. And when you go there, you're going to love it. The food is fantastic. If you had to pick 2 things right now, what are you picking?
Is it 2 things right now, meat-wise?
Whatever wise.
Okay. I'm going to get the succulent brisket and the jalapeno cheese sausage.
He can't do 2.
I can't do, those are the 2 meats. And then I would have to have the queso mac and cheese because it's amazing.
All right, they're open Thursday through Saturday, 11 a.m. until they're sold out. Call them up, 979-492-6241. It's 1775.
And it's good. want to get her off the street. Oh, yeah.
I have such a grin.
I had this. I can't even remember what the name of the album was, but I had it on an 8-track tape.
Yeah.
I can remember.
Big Rick James guy?
Huh?
Big
yeah,
Rick.
I actually was, believe it or not.
I know I've said this to you on the show before. Have you ever watched the Chappelle skit about Rick James? And
Yeah, I think I have.
I'm Rick James.
Listen, so early in my career, I'm working in the newspaper in Longview, and I have to write an article about this girl in Pittsburgh, Texas. Her name was Maria Mitchell. She was a great athlete. So I went up to interview her, and we were going to go take pictures. So we were moving from, she was an African-American young lady. We were moving from where we were going to the stadium.
Okay.
And so she said, I said, well, you can ride in my car with me if you want to. And she said, yeah. So she gets in the car, and she says, you got a Rick James tape? I said, yeah, I love Rick James. And we're building bridges because she says, well, I like Kenny Rogers. So we were building bridges.
There you go.
That day. Maria Mitchell, I wonder what happened to her. I bet she's an amazing athlete even today because she'd be about 50 years old now.
You don't Google people to see what's up with them?
Well, I just never thought about Maria Mitchell until right now because of Rick James.
Hey, yeah. All right, now it's time for the Heisman Watch, brought to you by the Shurtleff Law Firm. He is a great friend of our company. That's talking about Hunter, of course. We trust him with our legal needs. Call Shurtleff Law today when you need a lawyer for your business or personal issues. All right, the clap. There it is. Who's number 5?
Number 5, I got Ty Simpson, the Alabama quarterback last week. Passed for 277 yards and a touchdown in that 29 victory over LSU. That performance raised his season totals to 2,461 yards and 21 touchdowns. He's also rushed for 87 yards and 2 TDs this year.
He's. I should have known this, and it's probably been mentioned before. But Marcel talking about them being friends growing up, I didn't know that until this week.
That their dads coached against each other. One at East Tennessee, one at Tennessee State.
Yeah, I just didn't know the relationship.
Great information to have, and great story ideas if it's a Texas A&M, Alabama big. SEC
championship game. Number 4, you're just saying.
I'm just saying it's Julian Salan, the Ohio State quarterback, the leader of the top-ranked Buckeyes, completed 27 of 33 passes for 303 yards and a touchdown in a 32 victory over Purdue last week. That was Purdue, but hey, those are good numbers. He's now has thrown for 2,491 yards and 24 touchdowns. He's completing almost 81% of his passes.
If New York invites 5, and these are the 5, by the way, I'm going to like it because there's a great storyline for at least 4 of them. The next one I am rooting for.
Look, Haynes King, Georgia Tech was idle last week. I'm still telling you, I don't care about their record and that they lost their last game. They didn't lose because of him. He had 400-something yards of passing. So anyway, he remains 3rd in the nation in total offense. He's accumulated 2,642 yards in 8 games. Because he set out their game against Gardner-Webb, which could have been a stat padding game. He's passed for 1,888 yards and 9 touchdowns, rushed for 754 yards and 14 touchdowns. That's a lot of yards for a quarterback.
Number 2, Heisman moment. I don't know if the Heisman game, but definitely a Heisman moment.
Yeah, Fernando Mendoza, Indiana, last week. He overcame a lackluster showing for most of the game by leading Indiana on a late drive, which, of course, ended with that game-winning touchdown pass with 7 seconds to go to lift the Hoosiers over Penn State 27-24. He completed 19 of 30 passes for 218 yards and a touchdown in that game. Also ran for a touchdown. Give him credit for that. Overall, Mendoza has passed for 2,342 yards and 26 touchdowns. He's rushed for 240 yards and 5 touchdowns.
And then number 1 on the list, there's chants about him everywhere.
Yeah, you know what? You can call me a homer. You can call me a provincial if you want to. I base this on what I've seen from Marcel Reed. Now, he had an efficient game last week against in that 38-17 win over Missouri. Completed 20 of 29 passes, 221 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also rushed for 29 yards. He's 21st in the nation with 2,571 yards of total offense. He's passed for 2,193 yards and 19 touchdowns. He's also run for 378 yards and 6 touchdowns.
All right, let's hit
And wait, you want to talk about Heisman moments?
Yeah.
He's had a couple. Yes, Mendoza did lead a late second or a late drive for a last second or an almost last second touchdown to beat Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
Marcel Reed did the same thing to beat Notre Dame. Notre Dame's better than Penn State.
Notre Dame's probably go to the playoffs if they win this weekend.
Oh, yeah. If they win this weekend, they're in because all they have left is Syracuse and Stanford.
Nick, if you can, send Damontre Moore a link. He wants to join us. He's been texting me this morning. It'd be great to chit-chat with our buddy Damontre. So we'll talk
The
to
Monster?
him. The Monster. We'll talk to him on the other side. We can hang out here at the Holistic Planning Club if you want. All right, Stephen McGee's going to have to reschedule, so we'll get him back on. But, of course, you can check out a lot of his premium content on the TexAgs premium boards. Right now, we're talking about Paragon Financial. If you're looking for peace of mind when it comes to your money, check out Aggie-owned Paragon Financial Advisors, an independent fiduciary serving clients all across Texas with no sales pitches, no commissions, just honest financial planning and investment management. And what sets them apart is the 9 CFPs, the CFA, the CPA, all on staff. They take these credentials very seriously, and they work tirelessly to help you build a future that you can feel really good about. Go to paragon-adv.com or give them a call, 979-693-3907, to schedule your free consultation today. It is Paragon Financial Advisors, integrity, expertise, and trust. Hey guys, David Nuño here to talk about our new partners with EventPipe. They are a leader in hotel booking technology, and now they're giving you a chance to support Aggie student athletes every time that you travel. Thanks to their partnership with United and EventPipe, whether you're heading into a game, a business trip, or family vacation, every room that you book comes with cash back in the pockets of Aggie athletes. That's a wonderful deal. And with EventPipe, you'll get discounted hotel rates up to 20% lower than the major travel sites, while enjoying a fast, easy booking process. They've even created Presto, EventPipe's quick launch booking solution. It lets organizations build branded hotel sites powered by live hotel inventory, making it simple to book the perfect stay. So Michael. Jackson 5.
Yeah. I remember that song. I probably haven't heard it in 40 years.
Yeah, it took a second, right?
Yeah. I've been thinking that's familiar.
Riley and Emily killing it today at Bryant Broadcasting. It's TexAgs Live. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We're in the Rollo Insurance Studio talking about a guy who was a killer.
Yeah.
He's a monster.
The monster.
Let's go to the Bubby's Catering and Bartending Hotline. Damontre Moore, my man. What's up, bud?
Man, nothing much. Great morning. Appreciate y'all for having me, and the excellent intro as always. How y'all doing?
We're good, man. When are you coming to hang with us in studio?
Man, all you got to do is let me know. You send the invite, and I'll make it happen. I'm thinking about actually coming down there next week with my former teammate, Jaquazi Tart, that played at Sanford. And so we, with us playing at the 49ers going to the Super Bowl, we got a little banter going. He was like, hey, I know it's going to be a beating, but come show me around College Station. So, hey, if the opportunity's there next week, let me know, man.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, y'all got some new threads over there. Like, y'all just switched it up. It's like having a whole Mr. Rogers moment with the nice chairs and background. I like this.
So
what they say, a new funk sway.
Yeah. Hey, Damontre, check it out. So we're going to show you the different looks. Nick, can you show them different? This studio's got multiple looks. We got this look.
Okay.
We've got, maybe not.
Oh.
You see that?
Okay. Lights on. Let me see.
Bam.
It don't work for me. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So we've got.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, we got multiple looks there for you. But all right, man. Talk to us about this A&M football team, number 3 in the college football playoff rankings, undefeated, 9-0, looking great.
Man, looking phenomenal. First time in a long time. We've been 9-0 since the start, since I believe 1992, the year that I was born. So I'm going to hold my hat to say that is a symbolic representation that this is our year. But we've seen these Aggies get over that hump. This is the best start in a very long time. But not only is it the best start, you see the energy just exuberating off the field. Cassius Howell doing what he's going. I just found out about Marcel Reese and the new nickname he got. What is it? The Black Unicorn, if I'm not mistaken.
That's
Ruben Owens, right?
That's Ruben Owens is the Black Unicorn.
I'm sorry, Ruben Owens.
Gingerbread Man is Marcel.
Gingerbread Man is Marcel.
And then you got the Gingerbread Man with Marcel Reese. You can't catch me. Shrek, come on now. That is that's my era. And when I say these guys are not only talking to us as the fan, you could tell that Coach Elko is talking to them. And so it's going from the top down, and I'm really excited. I believe we should, in my opinion, maybe this is just me being an Aggie and being biased, but I believe we should be number 1. Like, when does strength of schedule, plays a factor into it? Like, unbeaten team, we're playing week in and week out in the SEC, but hey, it is what he say. We there, and long as we in the fight.
Yeah, just keep winning. Hey, and one big part of winning this week would be the containing Lenore Sellers as a defensive end that chased down a whole lot of quarterbacks. How do you deal with a guy like that's as big as you are and can run like he does?
Yes, sir. The biggest thing right there is just you're going to have to keep your pass rush lanes. Do what you've been doing all year. Like, this D-line has been rushing out the wazoo, from keeping contained, from Cassius Howell doing his thing and the other defensive end, but then to them interior juggernauts that's been winning defensive linemen SEC week in and week out. We've had a multitude of guys, a slew of guys. When one guy got injured, another guy came in. And so the depth has to come in there, and you just have to stay fresh and stay healthy. And the biggest X factor that's going to help them right now is having a former player like Tony Gerard Eddy that is leading the boys. We've had the privilege of chasing down guys like Johnny Manziel in practice, Robert Griffin throughout his time there. So with us playing these these quarterbacks that have multiple aspects to their game, Tony's going to be able to talk to them about personal experience, but now from the coach's perspective. And you have a player leading men, and they've been playing lights out, leading the nation in sacks and TFLs the way that they're doing. I think him by the helms is what's going to be that X factor to help them keep contained.
Who was hard for you to sack? Who do you remember, man? God, it was hard to get that guy down.
I would probably say, honestly, the hardest person to keep contained was Johnny Manziel. Going against him in practice, like you see him running. Like, yes, we couldn't tackle him. There were some times that he did some things that were so spectacular that guys like myself, Tony Girardetti, would get mad and be like, you know what? He's on scout team. He needs to be here for us. Like, hit him and make him lay down. And even when we tried to give him a little extra, he still was phenomenal in the things that he was doing. So it was only when you went against guys like that, when you went against everybody else, it was like, hey, I got the best. Just like my mentality in practice. I went against Cedric Oboye, Jake Matthews, and Luke Jokel. Going against them in practice, when I went against any other offensive tackle, nothing compared to it. So having guys like that, it didn't compare, but, there was another guy down there in Waco that was doing numbers pretty bad. And so I would say in game, I would have to probably say RG3 was probably the most difficult quarterback to keep contained.
Damontre, did you say you were born in 1992?
Yeah, I did.
Yes, sir. 1992, September 11, Virgo, baby. It's okay. It's okay. Age is only a mindset. Don't worry about it. You only have.
I was in high school in 1992, and OB was already 36. Like,
probably.
No, I'm kidding.
92? I would have been 31.
Oh, I was actually kidding. Okay,
yeah, 31.
I was just trying to be mean. Thanks, Damontre.
Hey, what I had a wise coach always told me, keep living. Just how y'all feel is funny. I'll be talking to Cassius Howell and through direct messages and communicating with him, and the way that he talks to me is like, man, I appreciate the support. I'm like, man, I just retired in February. Like, I'm still an active player. So for these guys to show you your respect, it's like, dang, man, maybe I really am getting old. So what they say, keep living.
What wisdom do you impart to Cassius Howell when you're having communications with him?
Just keep doing what he's doing. Energy and effort, man. Like, it is coming off the screen. Like, I love the fact that we're in a space of where a lot of these players are letting their personalities show. Like, at one point in time, you had to worry about being too ferocious or doing this and that. And from him, he's going out there and playing football. And that's all I keep telling him, just emphasizing. Keep going out there, having fun, chasing the ball down. But most importantly, bringing that energy. You barking on that video going viral on the offensive lineman for LSU that was a freshman and letting him know you stated your dominance and you did that. That is wrecking crew football. When you think about Quentin Correa and the hit, that intimidation factor, he's doing that. But most importantly, he's having fun. When you think about KC Concepcion, he's out here cooking, and I seen the video of him and his teammates bonding like that. Like, they are having that energy. So when I talk to Cassius, it's like, man, keep having fun with what y'all doing. What ain't broke, don't fix it.
Damontre, amazing stuff, man. We appreciate you joining us. And next week, you come by studio, all right?
Yes, sir, I will. Thank you for having me. Thanks and giggle.
Appreciate you, man. Damontre Moore on the Buppies Catering and
Bartending
Hotline. That's my guy right there. Appreciate his time. We'll hit a break. We'll come back. I'm going to play some audio for you.
Okay.
From Todd McShay.
Todd McShay.
It's a compliment sandwich.
Okay.
All right? That's the best way to describe it.
Sandwich.
Really good? Not so good? I don't remember how he ends, but I just want you to listen to it, okay?
Yeah, sure.
If it's not a compliment sandwich, it's a compliment pizza. I don't know. I don't even know how to make sense. Right now, we're talking about the Tesla Motors Tailgate of the Future, hosted by...
TexAgs.
Yeah. I just pointed at myself like,
TexAgs Tesla Tailgate.
Yeah.
TexAgs Tesla Tailgate.
Try to say that 3 times.
TexAgs Tesla. Yeah, I can't do it.
No, let's try it. Scoon, do it.
Tesla Tailgate.
Say it slowly.
TexAgs Tesla Tailgate.
Fast.
TexAgs Tesla Tailgate.
Okay. He's pretty good. Your turn.
Yeah. TexAgs Tesla.
Sorry. So much fun. Try it one more time.
TexAgs Tesla Tailgate.
Okay, I can't stop. One more time.
TexAgs Tesla Tailgate.
But fast.
TexAgs Tesla Tailgate.
Sorry. Discover the lineup of display. Refined Model S, versatile Model 3, the Model Y, the innovative Model X, and the groundbreaking Cybertruck. Explore cutting-edge technology, instant torque, and sustainable performance up close. Enjoy exclusive giveaways and exciting prizes throughout the year. Capture is coming again, by the way. Capture the moment displays and learn how Tesla is accelerating the world's transition through sustainable abundance. Join us in that celebration. Tesla Motors. See you there at the tailgate of the future.
The TexAgs Tesla Tailgate.
Hey everyone, it's David and Olin from the Holistic Planning
Cool Zone.
I like when we have the chairs here because I don't feel like I have to do this when we're talking about holistic planning. But they want you to know, TexAgs subscribers, they take care of the TexAgs subscribers.
Oh, absolutely. Take care of everybody.
They want to know that anybody who signs up by November 27, 2025 will receive this awesome offer. If the Aggies beat the Longhorns or win in Austin on November 28, 2025, clients will pay no management fees to holistic planning for the entire 2026 calendar year.
That's free.
It's free 99. Actually, just free.
All you got to do is beat Texas. Well, it's not if they beat Texas, it's when they beat Texas.
When. And when you go to holisticplanning.com, you're going to love holistic planning. So it is holisticplanning.com. Check out the website and take advantage of this awesome offer. All right, Go Hour coming to a close here, brought to you by The Warehouse at CC Creations. OB, I want you to hear this bite. We don't have that much time. Todd McShay talking about A&M and Marcel Reed on his podcast this week. Here's Todd McShay.
I love this defense. I love the in-game adjustments that they're making on both sides of the ball. That's a good Missouri team without their starting quarterback. So the defense took advantage, but that's a damn good Missouri defense. Okay? So keep all of that in mind when I explain to you. I was saying there are some flaws in Marcel's game that have not improved enough from year one to year two, where if A&M's gonna get got, it's gonna be because of some of the things I'm seeing on tape from Marcel as a passer. So I pop in this tape because I watched the game the other night, and what I'm seeing, and understandably so, you see the flash plays, you see the replays of them and the celebration of them, and you see all the good things. And occasionally you see, a negative or an interception or a sack or something like that. But the good always outweighs the bad with Marcel on the broadcast. And he's a special, special dude.
I agree to disagree. And I'm going to tell you my why. You can tell me. Sure, I understand everything he's saying. I think he's looking at it as an NFL quarterback lens and not a college football quarterback lens. And what I mean by that is he's an NFL draft evaluator, right? What I see Marcel Reed do every time he's played the game is put A&M in a position to win a game.
Yeah, he does that. But there are times when Marcel, we've all seen it, some throws that he's made that you go, I'm glad they didn't intercept that one.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably where he's getting it. There's one against Missouri early in the game, and the ball went off the Missouri defender's hand. But Marcel can get better.
Yeah.
He's my Heisman Trophy. He'll get my Heisman Trophy vote as of today. He would. He has big play potential. He can be spectacular, but he can get better, and I think that's fair.
Where I disagree, though, is look, could he have a game where he cost A&M a game because he throws a couple of Of course, that's any quarterback that can happen to, right? But if I were to tell you, if something were to bite A&M in the butt this year, I would say there's two things that I would say before Marcel Reed.
Okay, I can agree with that. Go ahead. It's the
big plays
on defense, yeah,
and penalties.
Yep.
Okay, those are for me well before Marcel maybe having a couple bad throws a game. What I've seen Marcel do in his short career at A&M is put A&M in position to win multiple games and win the Notre Dame game, and should have won the Auburn game because of what he did. Should have won the USC game because of what he did. Dominate LSU in the second half. That's what I've seen. Okay? Twice, by the way, on LSU. So I haven't seen a guy cost you games. Me personally. Doesn't mean he can't cost you a game, because great quarterbacks sometimes cost you games.
Yeah. I don't think McShay said he ever cost them a game.
No, I think if they get God, it's going to.
Because if there's a couple of, if he doesn't remove those plays, and everybody has them, but that are almost interceptions, and they become interceptions, then every coach will tell you that the biggest statistical factor in winning and losing is turnovers. So I tend to agree that if some of those plays that he's gotten away with, you don't get away with, turn into a couple of interceptions a game, that could be the thing that would swing a game.
Yeah, I mean, look, I recognize what he's saying. I just don't think that is on my list of worries yet.
Right. Because I would still like to see Marcel run more. Now, I think Missouri played a defense to keep him from running last week, and he didn't try to force it. And so I think there's another example of why Marcel's really maturing and is so good.
Thank you, Obie.
Yep.
Coming up next, John Hadis on TexAgs Live. And we are back. It is TexAgs Live. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We're in the Rollo Insurance Studio, and we're having a good old time here. And usually we talk to Ryan Swope at this time, and that's brought to you by Duck Camp, whether you're hunting birds at sunrise or flipping burgers before kickoff. Duck Camp has got you covered. Check it out at duckcamp.com. Built for the outdoors, designed for everything else. Use the code TexAgs25 for 25% off your order. Let's go to the Buppies Catering and Bartending Hotline. My buddy John Harris, footballtakeover.com, and of course, Texans sideline reporter. Johnny, thank you for playing musical chairs with us. I know we were supposed to have you yesterday. Billy went on a great rant, so we went a little bit longer, but you are so accommodating. You're here with us today.
Yeah, what was Billy going on a rant about?
I don't know. Nick, when you say rant, he just was passionate
he was frustrated
about,
with the playoff committee and their rationale for everything.
Yeah, I mean, I actually don't have a problem with A&M right now being number 3 because I think they're going to move up if they win these. If they go 12-0 and maybe win the SEC championship game. I think they're going to move up to 1 or 2. But Billy's point was like all this stuff matters, especially their metrics, the way they're kind of going about it. What did you think of it?
Well, I'm thinking about it from a strictly A&M perspective. I'm not worried at all because you basically have your destiny, fate, your path kind of in your hands. Because let's just say, Indiana, Ohio State are going to play each other. Let's just say they went out. They're going to play each other in the Big Ten championship games. Somebody's going to lose. So one of them is going to be number 1. A&M wins out. Okay, A&M's number 2. Now, typically in a seeding situation, that typically puts you on the road at some point in a tournament. But in the playoff, all it is you're wearing your light colored jersey on the other sideline in a bowl game. So to me, from an A&M perspective, it doesn't really matter. Just take care of your particular business. And when you beat Texas, when you beat Alabama in the SEC championship, you very easily could go to number 1, having done all that. So I don't put a lot of stock in the committee looking at this snapshot of time because the books all haven't been written. So once the books are fully written and then they sit down and come up with it, all right, then I might lose some sleep over who's at number 8 versus who's at number 10, et cetera. But right now, if I'm an Aggie, I'm like, look, we just went out. We beat the teams on our schedule and win the SEC championship, then we're fine. Thing is, from a playoff perspective, I think they beat South Carolina. I think they're in no matter what happens in Austin. And if they lose in Austin, then I think they're still in, and it may keep them from playing in the SEC championship game, and that might actually not be a bad thing. They get a couple of weeks of rest to get ready for whatever first round playoff game they're going to play. And my guess would be it would be kind of like Ohio State last year. They would play that game at home if they ended up with a first round playoff game. So I'm not really losing sleep over it. The thing I'm worried about, in a sense, is South Carolina this weekend because South Carolina has enough NFL talent, future and, about to be, that can wreck the game in certain ways, that they can make the game really difficult, especially if you start getting tight, if that thing is close in the second half.
I want to go down that path a little bit more with you, Johnny, but I want to also ask you this. So one of the things that Billy was talking about, like where A&M is right now, what happens if they lose? How far do they drop? So if A&M were to lose a game, do they go all the way now to the 8th seed? And then kind of compare that to what happens if Indiana loses a game or Ohio State loses a game? Because at 3, if they drop, will they drop behind both Ole Miss and Alabama and maybe all the way to 8 or 9? So just kind of in your head, think about that.
Well, I think there's a couple of things there to consider. If they lose to Samford, then they should probably drop out of the top 25 altogether. They lose to South Carolina. I mean, it's a home game, and they just got beat by a team that would be lucky to get to bowl eligibility. I think losses in either one of those 2 games, and A&M is going to feel it. It's going to be a precipitous drop at that point. Now, Texas beats Georgia this weekend, and then you lose to Texas on a last-second field goal on the road in Austin, I don't think they're going to fall significantly far. I don't think they're going to fall. I mean, they shouldn't fall below Ole Miss, but then all of a sudden it becomes, a beauty pageant. And, what wins does Ole Miss have on its resume? Okay, well, Ole Miss would have lost to Georgia at Georgia. A&M would have lost to Texas at Texas. Like, oh, golly, okay. There are your comparison of losses. Who's got the better win? Well, Ole Miss has got Oklahoma, and A&M's got a visit to Notre Dame. So to me, A&M shouldn't, in that situation, fall that far and fall beyond, say, Ole Miss. But, does Oregon, look really, really good the last 2 or 3 weeks, and then they shoot up there? And, Oregon, all things considered, Oregon can win out and look impressive, and they can just keep moving up, and they won't have to play the Big Ten championship game because Indiana and Ohio State will have to knock each other off. So that, to me, gets really dicey in the Big Ten. What if you're Indiana? What if you win out and you're Indiana, then you lose to Ohio State? You've got one loss. Oregon's got one loss. But Indiana hasn't looked all that impressive the last few weeks. Then they lost. Oregon has gotten a little bit better each week. How do you kind of play that? Because I think Oregon right now, if they met on a neutral field, I'd pick Oregon to beat Indiana, even though they lost up at Oregon. It's just kind of the way a college football season goes. But it's hard because the second you put Oregon in front of Indiana, well, Indiana beat Oregon. Why are you playing the games? Yeah, but right now, if that's what we're assessing it on, then I think Oregon's better than Indiana. Same thing. Even if A&M loses, I think A&M's a better football team than Ole Miss, regardless of the losses or the wins. That's just what the eye test tells me. I don't know what the analytics say. I don't know. But to me, if who you lose to at this point matters, given the disparity of the three opponents that A&M has on the schedule. But you beat South Carolina, you beat Samford. As long as you don't go to Texas and, just everything goes wrong, you lose 47-2, I think you'll be able to stay in the top 5, top 6. And like you said, the only worry is then Ole Miss. But I'm not confident Ole Miss is going to run this thing out, if I'm being honest. I just don't. I think they're a good team, but I don't think they're at the level of A&M.
Johnny, what do you say to those that say, yeah, A&M really hasn't beat anybody? You beat a Notre Dame team that's really lost all their major games. All the teams in the SEC that you've beaten have fired their coaches or just terrible. Mississippi State's 1-7 in conference play, or whatever it is, 1-6, 1-7 in conference play. And that's kind of being used against A&M. And my counter to that has been these teams are all playing each other. That's why their conference records are so bad, because there's so many deep teams in the SEC.
Yeah, I think there's that, David. But also, what game in the SEC that A&M has played has been close? They went to LSU and beat them by 30 plus, right? Yeah. They went to Mizzou and beat them by what, 3 touchdowns? I mean, they've played SEC teams and blown them the you-know-what out. They've won games, and this is the one thing I've been preaching about them. They won games in different ways this year. And I don't know that you can say that about other teams. And the other thing that I want to see if I'm on a playoff committee, I want to see a team get better throughout the year. I feel like A&M is doing that. I feel like A&M is getting better even as they played a 3-game road stretch. They won all 3 of those games in different ways. They blew out LSU. They had to outscore Arkansas. And then they just put their thumb on Missouri and just said, nope. Like, big brother on, tiny, tiny little brother. And just said, no, you're not getting up. And to me, that's pretty damn impressive. And oh, by the way, this whole Notre Dame thing, I said it after the A&M game. It was like 2 weeks after the A&M game. And we were talking about it on our Texas Monday show with Andre Ware. And we were talking about, who's the best team in the country. And, we threw all these names out. We threw out A&M. A&M was playing pretty well. I said, I'm telling you guys, in a couple weeks, Notre Dame's going to get back on track. And they got a chance to run this thing out. And that's what they're doing right now. And kind of in the same way, C.J. Carr is playing at a very high level. Jeremiah Love's the best running back in the country, along with Darian Price. That's a hell of a duo. They're thumping teams that they should thump. It's not even close. They lost 2 games to one to Miami, which They're starting C.J. Carr for the first time, and then they lost to the number 3 team in the country, who you can make an argument is the number 1 team in the country, and they lost by a point at home. So I think Notre Dame is really, really good. And as Notre Dame wins out, I hate to say this, I guess, Aggies need to be cheering like hell. Go Irish, because the better Notre Dame looks, the better A&M is going to look for that win back in September or whatever it was. So you should all be very, very, very big Jeremiah Love and C.J. Carr fans as the season continues.
Johnny, you hit on something earlier that I want to kind of investigate for a minute too. So South Carolina, they worry me for a couple reasons. And because I worry about everybody minus Sanford.
Yep.
I worry because Lenore Sellers is Lenore Sellers. So that's part of it. All right. Move that to the side. I worry because Dylan Stewart and the other edge are really good. All right. Move that to the side. Those are reasons. But the main thing I worry about is that coming off a bye week, retooling the offense on a team that really their biggest weakness has been play calling and the way they've used Lenore Sellers. Should I be worried about that with the change at offensive coordinator going back to what Lenore's does best?
Well, if Lenore's carries it 25 times in this game, yeah, I'd be a little bit worried because he, to me, is, I think he's the best running back that South Carolina has. He's the best ball carrier. You know, Nick Harbor would be kind of scary, but he can't. Sometimes he has hands like fish. He can't catch it cold. There's sometimes he makes catches that end up top 10 Sports Center catches. It's just inconsistent. But offensively, outside of Lenore Sellers, I don't know. I mean, it's almost got to be the Diego Pavia sort of mindset. Like he's, I mean, Vanderbilt's got way more talented perimeter players than South Carolina does. But Diego Pavia is going to have the ball in his hands, doing something with it, throwing or running 45 times in a game, 50 times in a game, maybe if the game is tight and close. That's what South Carolina needs to do with Lenore Sellers. And I think it ends up being that he carries it 20 to 25 times, and I think he ends up throwing it another 25 to 30 times. And that's the way I think South Carolina can win any game, but he's going to take a beating doing it. And that is the biggest question, is whether he can stand up to that beating. And when he's taking that pounding, his ball security tends to end up being an issue for him. So I say this in the best football way possible. And I've said this on the air, and most people understand it. Football is a violent game. When the Norris Sellers carries the ball, I mean, he's 6'3", 240. But A&M's got to hit him with every shot they've got. Every time he carries it. Make him feel every single carry, because in the fourth quarter, all of a sudden that right arm is taking a pounding and a ball floats on him because his arm is so beat up, and you get a pick, and that ends up being the final nail in South Carolina's coffin. So every time he runs it, it's a shot. It is everybody to the football. It's not just, well, I've got the quarterback on this option play. No, it is 8, 9, 10 Aggies sprinting to the football and making 16 pay for the fact that he's wearing a different color jersey. I'm not saying illegally. I'm saying legal. Hit him with everything you got. Hone in on making a physical statement on Sellers such that when he does have a zone replay, even if A&M does it where they read it wrong, or the defensive end crashes, they don't scrape exchange, etc., Sellers is like, I'm hitting this ball off, man, because I don't want to take another hit. That's what you have to put on him on Saturday. But that's what I expect from South Carolina coming off a bye. And if I'm the defensive coaches, Jay Bateman, etc., that's what I'm expecting. I am expecting Lenore Sellers 60 to 65% taking care of the ball, running it, throwing it. He's the guy, because there's nobody else that really scares you on that offense.
Talking to John Harris here on TexAgs Live. Johnny, have the Aggies maybe gotten a couple guys into the first round of this NFL draft, in your opinion? 2, 3, potentially?
Oh, absolutely. I don't think it's any question Cassius Howell's going first round. Now, I think Dane Brugger did his top 50 the other day, and he had Cassius like 35. I'm like, I don't think so. I'm higher on Cassius Howell. And, Dane does a lot of, at this point, speaking with the scouts and talking with them. And I would imagine scouts don't want to put a, first round stamp on guys, et cetera. But when I'm looking for a guy to do everything out on the edge, Cassius Howell does it. So I think Cash is playing himself in the first round. I'm going to give you another one, David, and I don't know where this goes, but I was thinking about this before we came on. The other day when I was watching a game that had an end zone shot, in my immediate, I don't know why, I always look left to right. I guess because like I'm reading a book, whatever. And I look out at left tackle and I'm like, where's 60? I panicked. I didn't see him. And I wasn't listening to the game. I was watching like 4 games at the same time. And I was listening to a different one. And I was like, where's Zune? Where's Trey? And then I look over and he's at center. And then I thought of Graham Barton from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Graham Barton was a left tackle at Duke throughout his whole career. And Tampa drafted him, and I think it was number 22 overall. And Tampa said, you're moving to center. Like, they didn't even know, you're not playing tackle, you're moving to center. He played center his whole rookie year. And you're like, okay, that dude's playing center at a high level for Tampa Bay for the next 10 to 12 years. Well, then, in second game against us, Tristan Wirfs is hurt. So what they did with him, they put Barton back on a left tackle against Will Anderson, Daniil Hunter, and he didn't give up a sack. I look at Trey Zune kind of the same way. Like, going and playing center is opening up options and eyeballs to say, hey, I think he could be a really good center. But I think we also know he can be a very good tackle too. And so Graham Barton is who came to mind, who was number 22 overall. So I think Trey's going to end up finding himself getting into first round discussion whenever, I don't know, I can't remember what year he is and all that. I know he's draft eligible. And I know I would look at
Trey's
Trey
his 5th year. Wait, his 5th year, right? Am I right about that, Nick? I think this is his 5th year. Yeah, 5th year for Trey Zune.
So I think Trey's going to get an opportunity to go to Senior Bowl. I think he's going to show it off. I think he's going to show position flex. So I think he's going to move up for sure. Those two stand out right away. And then after that, I don't know if, I would say KC, not in the first round, just because I think teams might be concerned a little bit with his size. But from a playmaker standpoint, he puts himself in that conversation. He's a couple inches shorter than JSN with Seattle. And JSN didn't even play his final year. KC's at least showing, hey, man, look, I can do this thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if KC starts getting some love because of his playmaking abilities. I just think teams might shy away a little bit just because he's not 6'1", 205. In the first round, teams still get a little bit, I don't know. I'm telling you, I watched JSN up close in Seattle, and he cooked our guys, and we got a couple of the best guys in the league, and he was unbelievable. And that's the kind of player I think that Casey is, but he's just not as big as JSN is, and that might hold him back. But from that standpoint, if I'm sitting at the bottom of the round and, I'm the Buffalo Bills, and I need somebody out on the outside that can make plays. KC Concepcion looks damn good to me. I look at the Rams, they got Puka, they got Devontae Adams, but man, they need somebody that can just go just throw him a screen and he can make people miss. He can return kicks. Man, I put KC Concepcion with the Rams, and the Rams have got 2 first-round picks. So thinking aloud, I think KC is going to hear his name mentioned, but I think that teams are probably going to settle on a second-round grade for him, but he's going to be highly attractive to teams that already have got a lot of offensive pieces in place, but might just need that playmaker piece. Kind of like we were looking for Jalen Noel, Texans. I think KC kind of fits in that category, but I think KC's probably going to get a little bit more run, especially if he finishes this year as he started it.
Johnny, last thing for you. We're kind of late for a break, but I got to get your thoughts on what happened on Sunday. And I didn't hear you. I wish I did, but I heard your reaction to Davis Mills was pretty fantastic.
Yeah, Davis did a good job. I give him a lot of credit. The guy has been through it. He was a starter. Then he gets replaced. He's basically got to sit and watch for 2.5 years, basically. And then it's like, hey, Davis, come save our season. And he did. It was an incredible afternoon. It's one of those, as you're going through it, you're just mad, for the first, 3 quarters and, a lot of the fourth. Like, man, why did we play so crappy? And then all of a sudden you realize you're in the throes of the greatest comeback ever. And when Davis runs it in, it's just total elation. But Cam Little, SEC fans know Cam Little could hit from 70. And so we were worried about them completing 2 passes and then kicking a 65-yard field goal to beat us. But the defense came up big. So it was a great afternoon. And hopefully there's more to come. Because I got a feeling that my gut feeling is that Davis will start against Tennessee on Sunday. And if that happens, Davis has got to get back in that group, and he's got to get it a lot earlier than he did the other day against Jacksonville.
Johnny, great stuff, man. Enjoy your week. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, love you, brother. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Love you too, bro. That's my guy, John Harris. That's family right there. We'll hit a break. We'll come back, open segment. We'll let Schoonover talk finally. And then we'll talk to AT here on TexAgs Live. We'll talk about the Brazos Running Company. They're located at Century Square. They're Aggie owned and operated. They're a specialty running store with an outstanding selection of running gear and shoes. And they have all the brands you can imagine, from On to Brooks to Hoka to you, whatever you want. They got you guys. If you're a runner, you're a walker, interested in fitness at all, the right shoe makes all the difference in the world. And at the Brazos Running Company, they're passionate about running and finding the right shoe for you. They've got Viore, they've got Duck Camp, they've got Turtle Box speakers, they've got Stanley Cups. They have everything you want and much, much more. What you need to do is stop by the Brazos Running Company, located at Century Square, below the Star Cinema Grill in College Station. It is the Brazos Running Company. Hey friends, David Nuño here for Prize Picks. They're back on TexAgs, prizepicks.com/TexAgs. Use the code TexAgs to get $50 once you play in $5 lineups. And Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Football season's here, basketball coming up, baseball, you name it. You go to prizepicks.com/TexAgs and start having some fun watching sports, making some money on there. And you can play Prize Picks in over 40 states, including California and Texas. Remember, they'll give you $50 in lineups once you play $5 lineups on Prize Picks. And they have the new thing. It's called It's Good to Be Right campaign, and they're kicking off the upcoming NFL season with their bold new campaign, It's Good to Be Right. The seasonal long push celebrates the thrills of getting it right, from the perfect prediction to winning your Prize Picks lineups. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. I wish I had Olin here for it because he loves energy drinks. Catalyst Citrus Spark. This is one of the new flavors out there. Whether you're grinding through workouts, cramming for a test, or closing in on a deal, or getting ready for TexAgs Live, you never know, right? Fast becoming the go-to fuel for Aggies everywhere. Zero sugar, I'm all in for that. Or synthetic sweeteners, no artificial colors or flavors. Catalyst delivers clean, high-performance energy with smooth, crisp taste that is never syrupy, designed for both health and hustle. You want to get going? You use this Catalyst right here. It's about pure energy and pure results. And what sets them apart? Packed with premium nootropics blended to boost focus, clarity, and mental stamina. I need this. I'm in, guys. I'm in. Plus, with plant-based caffeine, vitamin B12, B6, Catalyst supports metabolism and energy production, making it more than a drink. It's your lifestyle training partner. Built for competitors on the field, Catalyst fuels strength, focus, and pure results. Buy now at drinkcatalyst.com. That is drinkcatalyst.com. Train harder, think sharper. Pure results is Catalyst. You're listening to the TexAgs Global Network. Nick, why do you think I call it the Global Network?
Because of Hugh listening in wherever he was listening that
Hugh?
day.
Yeah. No, Hugh
Hugh's
McElroy is a good friend of the show.
Yeah, that too.
You're talking about the other Hugh.
Yeah.
Last name Jass.
Yes.
Yeah, no, we're not talking about him. We're talking about, it's not like global. Houston's a global city, but people in Houston are watching TexAgs Live. I'm going to let Schoonover. Why did I slap the table? There's been a lot. Have you noticed I've become a slap?
You always stop yourself, too, when you start yelling.
Yeah.
I don't know why, though. Why do you stop yourself? Just let it rip.
It's like, like I recognize, like I had this voice in my head, like, hey, you're getting a little excited and people get intimidated by you. And, so I'm here. It's a gratitude day here. I've done gratitude days here. I want everybody to feel the love, okay? From the janitor to the CEO, everybody, to all the listeners. I want everybody just to feel a virtual hug here on TexAgs Live.
That looked more like a chokehold than a hug.
Yes,
I get what you're saying.
You're right.
I get what you're saying.
You're right, actually. It's just muscle memory by now. Anyway, Schoonover, tell Nick and the people, we the people, who is listening to the show.
Yeah, so we got this guy texted in. He said, looking good, Slowpoke's Coffee Shop in West Houston.
So Slowpoke's Coffee Shop in West Houston is showing TexAgs Live.
Yep.
So right now, the folks having a great cup of coffee are watching me talk about them as we speak in Houston, a show in Bryan College Station for the global TexAgs network because A&M is a global brand.
Yeah.
We have a campus in Qatar, right? Made that up, or I'm right? Pretty sure.
I think it's Qatar. Said Qatar.
10 years ago,
Pronounced
they called it Qatar.
Yeah,
and they
probably.
changed it. Potato. Anyway, so thank you so much to whoever decided to put us on TV at Slowpoke's Coffee.
No.
By the way, 97% of the time, I'm going to have black coffee. Okay? But if I travel, I sometimes will have caramel in my coffee. Does that surprise anybody?
So black coffee with caramel?
No, like a macchiato. Kind
Do you have to like slip a note to the person that makes it? Have you seen those memes where they're just like, "Oh, black coffee," and it's like a peppermint vanilla swirl, something really, you have to do that.
I don't like sweets, but every once in a while, like a nice little caramel latte. I'd say maybe if I go on 4 road trips with A&M, I don't do it at home because I'm not going to stop at it on the way to work. I'll just make my coffee at home. But if I'm out, you can't get coffee in your room. You go get. I'm going to do a caramel latte. Of the 5 road trips, 2, I'll do a caramel latte.
Way to treat yourself.
Does anybody care that I said that? Or is this like, is John the Cypress changing the station?
This is called kneeling out the clock in this segment.
No, I want to give the people, I feel like the people sounds like I'm like on the throne. I don't mean it like that.
This segment is setting up the run, and we're about to take a deep shot with Aaron Torres in the next segment, right? Just slow.
There's no chance there's going to be a deep shot. He's going to be under a freeway. There's going to be homeless people and dogs barking, and there's going to be a fencing tournament in the background. They do those still. There's going to be popcorn chewing. It's going to be a disaster. With really good information, by the way. Anyway, can you give me something of football substance, Schoonover?
Yes, I got you. So WD 6919 actually had a great.
You don't have to read all the numbers. It's okay.
Yeah. 979. Sorry, phone number.
It's a great question. I want to get your opinion on this. If we demolish the Chickens, South Carolina, is there a chance we cause another program meltdown? You think Shane Beamer's out?
No. Now, if you beat them 70-0.
What about 49-7, 56-7?
No, I don't think he's getting fired. You know what I might do? I probably won't do this, but it's a thought. You know that I go on the field after the games and I get video, right?
Yeah.
I might go up to Shane Beamer and shake his hand and say, how's that guy? See how he responds.
Yeah. He's watching probably right now, so
Hey,
he'll
Shane.
find you.
I've said before, I kind of like Shane Beamer. I
do too.
There's something likable about him. I don't know if I want him to be my coach. No shot. I like who we got. We got one of the top 3 coaches in college football, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, anyway, by the way, we've got people listening. I'm reading. Lothorian. Okay, that's a great place to be. Tatooine. All right, thank you for Malamo Monkey. He's listening. You know where Tatooine is?
I have no idea. Geography's not.
Dude.
I mean, okay. So you know where Finland is, right?
Yes.
Okay. Tatooine is if you kind of look at a map and close your eyes a little bit, and then look to your left and put Star Wars on, that's where it is.
Okay.
He has no earthly idea what you're even trying to say. I wish you would have not told him it was Star Wars.
I did. That's just, you've got to think about Star Wars and close your eyes and look to your left. Google Finland, okay?
Okay.
And then say, how far is Finland from Tatooine? Yeah, that's what your AI search is going to be.
Tatooine.
The actual spelling on that, I'm going to use what they said here. Lost it. But you can figure it out. Just math, carry the 2, divide by 6. You'll figure it out. All right? Figure that out. Tell us on the other side of the break. All right?
Gotcha.
Yeah, tell me how far it is. When we do the heritage film about the ranch on Tatooine, and that Luke once looked at and said, what was his? Uncle Owen. Uncle Owen, tell me about this kind of ranch situation we got here where we got these weird animals walking by. And we do that documentary. We're going to make sure that Heritage Films and Chance McClain. I love watching Nick in the background laugh at how much of a train wreck this segment was. But and by the way, Chance McClain has dressed up as Star Wars characters before at work. That's a fact. Stormtroopers. He's done it. I'm not making that up. That is Chance. He did it at 1560. There's video evidence of it, right? And I think he's got a what do you call it? The cape that Luke would wear. Whatever you call that thing. Like Little Red Riding Hood, but black. He's got that. Anyway, Chance McClain is a documentarian. He tells those stories from Tatooine to East Texas, you name it. That's what Chance does. Go to yourheritagefilm.com. Yourheritagefilm.com or call them up 713-893-8341, 713-893-8341. It is Heritage Films. We are back. It is TexAgs Live. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. We're going to get to AT here in a second. But so, Nick, I think you'll appreciate this. Schoonover did do the Google search for how far, was it Finland to Tatooine is?
Finland to Tatooine, yeah.
Yeah, and how far is it?
It's 232 miles.
And how long does it take to get there, it says?
Does not say.
4 hours or something?
It says the estimated flight time's 0.41 hours. So.
Do I let this keep going?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tatooine is a planet in the movie Star Wars. It's not a real place.
Well, there you go.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Scoon. It is now time for a ride. I was going to let it go for many shows, and just bring it up every once in a while, but I was like, I can't do that, this poor Scoon. Anyway, it is now time for Around College Football, and that is brought to you by our good friends at Milliken Reserve, a College Station community featuring homes, trails, farms, wide open spaces. A mission to build a healthy community around nature. Take part in the Milliken Reserve community with a Conservancy membership. Learn more, millikenreserve.com. With that, we go to the Buppies Catering and Bartending Hotline. Our friend, Aaron Torres. AT, what up, buddy?
David Nuño, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
Good. I hear hollowness. I hope you're not in a bathroom.
I'm not in a bathroom. I'm in my home office, which as I've told you, the echo in here is no good. I can step into another room.
No,
I
like it.
Professional, David.
No, I like it.
You complain when I'm stepping over homeless people outside in California, according to you.
Yeah.
And now there's too much of an echo. And anyway, what's up, buddy? Okay, how is that? Is that better?
It's great. I can't wait to argue with you about one of your tweets, but we're not going to do that yet. We're actually not going to argue.
No, we can do it.
We're just going to have perspective.
I've been ready.
Oh, yeah.
I've been staring in the mirror, getting myself hyped up for this conversation. But go ahead. Whatever you want to start with Ball State, Bowling Green, we can start there. We'll get to A&M later. It's your show, man.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you letting me know that. I had forgotten for a minute. No, we're actually going to read you a little bit of breaking news. Alex Schoonover at the Angry Elephant News and Social Center's got some breaking news. Alex?
Yeah, so Baylor Athletic Director Mac Rhodes, he's also the College Football Playoff Selection Committee, is deciding to step down for personal reasons. So that's pretty big news around college football.
So unfortunately, I won't be able to hear Mac Rhodes tell me that A&M's defense and offense is the reason that they're number 3. So that I'm not going to be able to hear that anymore. At.
Well, that's what you brought me on for. Let me tell you why they're number 3. In all seriousness, credit to our guy Trey Wallace. I know he's a good friend of yours too. I believe he's the one that broke that story that there was some riffraff on the sidelines. I don't have all the details in front of me, but I know there was basically a shoving match with a player or something. The personal reason is he acted like an idiot on company time and on company property, and you got a major HR violation on your hands here. That was what it was. So credit to our buddy Trey Wallace who had that story first.
So AT, I want to start. Well, we've already started, but there's that. Do you think the SEC is deep or top heavy?
The SEC, you said?
Yeah, SEC deep or top heavy?
Okay, so it's great. I did my show prep yesterday on Ryan Fowler's show, and we got into this argument. I think it's just incredibly top heavy because he started with the whole, the bottom of the Big Ten. And I'm like, the bottom of the SEC is freaking atrocious. And I know what you're going to say, right?
You don't know.
Bobby Petrino at Arkansas, they can put up points on anybody. Auburn's defense. Listen, you are what your record says you are. Listen, Florida is terrible. They have quit on their coach. LSU, I understand, and we talked about this last week. When A&M played them, it was a different moment in time. They have very clearly quit. South Carolina, who I know, is on the schedule, they stink. And so, listen, I still think two things are true. I do think the SEC is the best conference in college football. But I also think the argument, it transitioned from it's the best undoubtedly to, well, it's not the best at the top anymore, but the middle and the bottom. And I was like, I think it's all kind of the same. Like, I really do. Like, I see Tennessee, they're sitting there at 6-3. I'm sorry. I don't think they're very good. Mm-hmm. I don't think that Vandy is very good. I think they're fine. I don't think they're elite. And so if we're talking about a USC team at 6-2, 7-2, whatever they are, like, I think they're basically a Vandy equivalent. So anyway, I could go on and on. Okay. But yes, Fowler and I talked about this yesterday. I think the bottom stinks, and I think we got to stop pretending like it's anything otherwise.
Okay. I disagree and agree, and we don't need to get into all the specifics. We can just listen to the Ryan Fowler show. No, I'm kidding. What I think, AT, is, let me just ask you this question. How many teams in the SEC legitimately have a chance to make the playoffs as of today?
Okay, so and if I can go back to the other thing for a sec, because I probably should have brought this up. I understand, like, expansion I think has been a net positive, but this notion of, I hear people, there's not enough big games in college football. Well, by definition, somebody has to lose all these games. And so I just bring it up because, like Florida, Florida Ole Miss felt like a big game in September. It's meaningless today. So I could go on and on. There's more teams in the SEC that are capable of making the playoff right now than any other conference. But you ask me, is it top heavy or is it, solid top to bottom? It can't be top. It can't be solid top to bottom when it has the most teams that are capable of making the playoff this late in the season, because that means that there's a lot of teams that have been sacrificial lambs for the rest of the league throughout the season. Again, the Floridas, the South Carolinas, the whoever. So, the SEC has by far, I think, most teams that are still in it. So let's see. We have 4 in right now, I believe, plus Texas and Oklahoma is 6. I guess Vandy is 7. And so, to answer your question directly, the SEC has by far the most teams that are still, capable of making the college football playoff.
Okay. I believe that a lot of those teams in the SEC, if they played in a different conference, if they played Texas Tech's schedule, let's say, would be in the conversation right now. That's what I believe.
Hypothetical. There's nothing more fun. It's November when the leaves turn, when the pumpkin spice latte comes out, and when we start playing SEC. Well, if Iowa played this team, Auburn would win by 37 points if they played Iowa. Well, they don't play Iowa. And so, it's just like we got to go based on the results that we say they are. And again, what I do think is important, and you brought up this point last week, and I do think it is relatively important, is the idea of who do you play, not only who do you play, but what was the context of the game when the game was played, right? So I thought that was actually an excellent point by you last week, is we're not going to look at LSU as some incredible win in December when we're talking about Texas A&M versus Notre Dame in the opening round of the college football playoff. But in that moment, it was, you would remember, what was Texas A&M? Probably a 4.5 point favorite. It wasn't like, they're just going to go in and win by 30. So I thought that was actually an excellent point by you last week. I also don't think it takes away from a lot of the facts that I've said as well.
Do you think the Indiana win over Penn State was pretty awesome?
Yeah, I think it was a fun game. I thought it was a fun game,
What about the A&M win over Missouri?
I thought it was dominant, but why are you not asking me about the win over Auburn? I mean, isn't that the equivalent game? Fired head coach, nothing to play. Or maybe the better example is Arkansas on the road, bad team.
You're hosting. This is what I think. I saw a reaction to Indiana's win over Penn State, a 3-6 Penn State team with their backup quarterback. And people were like, that was amazing. Oh, my God. They actually said it out loud. And I saw A&M take care of business against a Missouri team, also on their backup quarterback. And people were saying, yeah, but you did it against the backup quarterback. Just let's keep things consistent. Missouri is a 6-3.
Let me ask you this, though.
Yeah.
Who was saying that? No national voice that I have heard on college football that understands
Heather Dinich was saying that Heather Dinich, there you go. Indiana Dinich. All right, Indiana Jones Dinich. She said it, if you can find me the quote, but I believe it was something to the effect of the committee was enthralled with what Indiana did at Penn State. And I'm like, bro or ma'am, A&M did the same thing but won by 21 against a team that was in the top 15 when they played, not a team that fired their head coach 3 weeks ago or whatever it was, a month ago. I guess my point is, I'm fine with A&M being number 3. It doesn't matter to me because I think if A&M wins their games, they're going to be 1 or 2. That's what I believe. But when it comes to analysis and when people talk about A&M schedule, strength of schedule, right? And I agree, these teams that we all thought were going to be top 10 teams have not been. All right, I agree with that. But people don't bring up that the last few teams that Indiana has played since the Oregon win, probably their most impressive win, a 3-6 Michigan State team, a 3-6 UCLA team, a 4-5 Maryland team, and a 3-6 Penn State team. Like, they don't bring that up. They just bring up Oregon. So I just want it consistent. That's it. And I'm not saying that you're not doing that. I think you're just saying win your games, it'll be fine. And I kind of agree with that. But when it comes to the reasons that the college football committee has said, well, we thought A&M's defense and offense is not as good as Indiana's. Okay, well, I mean, why? And I don't know, but I just don't like those reasons being used and then being told that this game was more important than that. And do you have the Heather Dinner's quote?
Now, she said, I guarantee you people in that room care about how Fernando Mendoza willed Indiana to win at Penn State.
Well, Marcel Reed willed them to win by 21 at Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is this the part where I talk now? I mean, that was a nice monologue.
Thank you.
That was the opening segment. I thought I was just listening to the show.
It was a good show, though, right? It's pretty good.
Let me. How much time do I have here?
You like 9 seconds.
We got to run. First of all, there's nothing I could say positive about Heather Dinch that isn't going to get me canceled, so I'll just keep it there. But I also think so. There's that part of it that doesn't make this response easy. Let's keep this conversation going. I think the theme is exactly what you said. If A&M wins out, they're going to be at worst the 2 seed. They're in the college football playoff, barring a complete self-inflicted disaster. I actually just thought it was a totally made-up conversation to get people going. I'll be honest, I don't even really watch the playoff show. It doesn't interest me at all. But I do think it is a detriment to the college football discourse that we have it every week because the committee has to explain, oh, you didn't move Indiana. What does this mean? I don't know. They won and Texas A&M won. They're both awesome teams. I just thought it was we talked last week about the Paul Feinbaum basically made up narratives, and I felt like this was the one they needed something to sell on this show. So it's like, Indiana barely won. They need to move. And it's like, no, they don't really need to move. It's not, whatever. I don't know. I'm short on time here. I got to run. I know you got to go to break. And that 8-minute monologue that you had certainly didn't help my conversation. But it's okay. We'll continue this conversation next week. I don't think A&M's losing. Indiana, I don't think, plays this weekend. So we'll have plenty of time to keep this conversation going.
I think it was a compliment and a shot, AT.
What's that? Which one?
Never mind.
Me?
Yeah, I lost interest. Hey, appreciate you, buddy.
I'll tell you what. I think very highly of you. Heather did it, just another conversation. I think very highly of you and your show, and we'll do it again next week, okay?
We'll see. Thank you. Okay, bye. Oh, I love the awkwardness of AT. I think I make everything awkward. Even when I talk about Rollo Insurance, there's nothing awkward about that. I know everybody listening to this spot right now loves when I talk about Rollo Insurance, because if you are a business owner and your commercial insurance needs deserves specialized attention, the Rollo Insurance Group is going to offer you comprehensive consultation for businesses of all sizes with particular expertise in family-owned operations. Their independent agents provide an objective guidance on liability, property, workers' comp, and specialized coverage. Every business faces unique risk and industry-specific liabilities to location-based hazards, and their specialists take time to understand your operation's specific vulnerabilities and growth plan to create a protection strategy that scales with your company, preventing coverage gaps that could threaten everything that you have built. Find your dedicated business insurance partner at rolloinsurance.com/TexAgs. rolloinsurance.com/TexAgs. 888-44-ROLLO. It is Rollo Insurance. All right, we're talking about Burlebo, the heart of Texas. More than an outdoor lifestyle brand, its products created with you in mind. Currently, I'm wearing the performance polo, the Texas Maroon and Gray. If you look into it, you've got the state of Texas in gray, and you also got it in maroon. It's one of their highest, most popular sales that they have there. It is really nice. Comfort and versatility. You can wear it in any situation. Quick drying, fits the size. But Burlebo, they're rooted in tradition, fueled by passion for the outdoors. Designs high-quality apparel that works just as hard as you do. So whether you're hitting a workout, enjoying a day of fishing, or cheering on your favorite college team, their gear is made for the athlete, the outdoorsman, and the everyday adventure. And it's really nice. I wore this one to church the other day. People talked about it. Really, my kids were like, "Yeah, Dad, you look pretty good today." From athletic shorts to your favorite go-to tees and performance hoodies, they have everything you want. Check out burlebo.com and find your new favorite gear. It's Burlebo for the athlete, for the outdoors, and for the family. What did you think of that last segment, Nick?
What do I think about it?
Yeah, that was fun.
I see both. I'm gonna ride the fence here. There are some points that AT made I do actually agree with, but I also see it the way you see it.
You know what I really think?
What?
I just hope we win, because could you imagine like the finger pointing? You guys said you were number 1 or 2 or 3, and you just lost to South Carolina. Don't do that.
Yes, yeah, that would.
That's terrible.
That
would be the worst. No, the worst would be losing the last game. As a reminder, the finals. Oh, I can't tell you right now. As a reminder, the final segment of the program's later. I'll tell you the rest of that in a little while. It's TexAgs Live. Oh, I probably should have done. As a reminder, the final segment of the program is brought to you by Double Dave's. That's typically at 10:50. Today's at 10:45 because we got Aggie women's basketball. But right now, caller number 12, 979-693-1150. We're going to hook you up with your choice of a dozen pepperoni rolls or a large one-topping pizza from Double Dave's. They've been serving Aggieland since 1984 with your favorite pizza and, of course, those world-famous pepperoni rolls, reliable in-house delivery, bringing piping hot goodness straight to your door. Just click on doubledaves.com, and your favorites are on their way. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Fan Show. Brought to you by Prize Picks, the largest independently owned daily fantasy sports platform in North America. It's the easiest way and the most exciting way to play DFS. It's you against the numbers. Instead of battling thousands of players, including the pros and the sharks, you pick more than or less than 2 to 6 players, stat projections, and watch the winnings roll. Learn more at prizepicks.com/TexAgs. Use the code TexAgs for $50 once you play in $5 lineups. Roy May, hello.
How are you?
How are you, buddy?
Good. I saw all the school buses coming in. I forgot it's the elementary school game this morning.
That is right.
Yeah.
It is that. That's right.
That is a wild atmosphere.
Hunter Shirtliff, hello, sir.
Howdy.
How are you?
Good.
And Matt Browning, how are you?
Buenos dias.
You know what I noticed today about you guys?
What's that?
A lot of compliments. Not one for me. Nice shirt. Nice shirt. Nice shirt. Everybody got a nice shirt.
Well, you're
I'm wearing a duck camp shirt, so I guess.
Yeah, but you're naturally handsome.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Hey guys, let's get into it. We'll go to Tatooine expert Alex Schoonover. 10-hour plane ride to Tatooine at the Angry
Finland. No, from Finland though.
It was close to Finland.
It's right around the corner from Hoth and Alderaan.
If you close your eyes and look to the left and watch Star Wars on the other screen, you can find it.
Yeah.
All right, Schoonover. I know your family is listening, so I should be nice to you. Ask the first question, please.
All right, Mr. Matt, what's on your mind?
Hi, good morning.
Oh, here we go.
All right, so I'm gonna
We don't have a game report this week, so
we got a story.
I'm gonna jump into a story real quick. I got to tell this one because it's just the most frustrating thing ever. So this past weekend we were in San Antonio, state marching band competition. A&M consolidated team did great. We're very proud of them. They worked hard. Good job, kids. And so we're there, and we go to the state competition, and we finished late on Monday. We get back, and we're hungry, so we decided there's a little hotel bar / restaurant down there, so we go down to get some food. My father-in-law and I, it's my wife, my mother-in-law, and father-in-law, and myself. Father-in-law and I are having a conversation. We're talking. He's a Baylor grad, but both of his girls went to A&M, so he's got a half heart for the Aggies. So we're sitting there having a conversation, just killing time, and we're discussing what Lane Kiffin had said about A&M and the merits of A&M, Ohio State, and Indiana. That's all we're talking about. And I'm not beating the drum either. I'm like, I'm good with Ohio State being number one. I mean, they're defending national champion, undefeated, great. Indiana, I could flip those, but at this point,
pretty impressive though.
Yeah, at this point, it doesn't really matter. But that's the conversation we're having. Haven't said anything. I'm not banging the drum, but I am wearing an A&M hat, so it is clear that I'm an Aggie. But I feel like had you been listening to me, you wouldn't have known that I'm an Aggie. Just that conversation. Mm-hmm. We're sitting there talking, and there's this nice family behind us. It's just almost empty restaurant. They're behind us. And I hear the wife and daughter go, no, don't say anything. And the father turns around and goes, hey, I'm sorry. I had to interrupt your conversation between my father-in-law and I.
Oh, first of all, hell no.
And he goes, A&M hasn't played anybody this year. Was the first words out of his mouth. And I go, and I'm so taken aback. I almost have no words, which y'all know is fairly rare for me. And I go, we played Notre Dame in South Bend and beat them, and we've beaten 2 other ranked teams on the road. He goes, Notre Dame hadn't played anybody either, and those 2 teams aren't even ranked anymore. He said,
so
I'm
who's
sorry.
beating anybody?
He goes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but A&M just hasn't beaten anyone, is what he says to me. He says, your schedule hasn't been half as hard as ours. Now, as soon as he said that, I already know the answer to this question, by the way, but I asked anyway. I said, so who's your team? He goes, I went to the University of Texas. And I'm like, of course you did. Of course you did. I'm still to this, at this point, I mean, I didn't just, I should have, been more, my wife and mother-in-law are sitting there, so I didn't just go on the full attack mode. I said, well, I hope y'all have a great season. And I just turned around, we minded our own business. My father-in-law, even once that guy finally left, he goes, I cannot, only a Longhorn fan. This is from a Baylor guy. He goes, only a Longhorn fan would do that. They are the worst, right? And so,
did you could have asked him, who did you guys lose to Florida?
Oh no, I did say that. I did say that.
He had a retort.
I said we beat Florida, who beat y'all, and we smoked Mississippi State, who took y'all to overtime. So he goes, I wasn't talking about. I wasn't bringing up Texas. The thing is, no one said a word about Texas. We're solely talking about the merits between those 3, and I'm telling you, the psychology of this has bugged me all week. It's been bothering me. He sat there, and because we weren't talking about them, that's what it was. To him, he was the audacity of these people to think A&M is good at anything. I guarantee you that's the thought process that was going through that guy's head for him to interrupt our conversation to do that. I do want to give, but he got up and left, and then his wife and daughter came over and apologized, and she was a member of the band, of a different band.
Okay.
And she was an absolute doll. She couldn't,
okay.
I don't know about him, but his daughter was absolutely amazing. She was the sweetest kid I've ever met. So.
Guys, I'm going to sound like a hypocrite here, but there's a part of me that does not give a flying bleep about the schedule, even though I cared about Texas's schedule last year. And here's part of my reasoning. I just want to go to the dance. Let me get invited. Let me feel that. Like, I want to touch what it feels. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's another part that says, look, the teams that A&M has beaten, they have beat to a pulp, right? Like, it's been a beatdown. When they played LSU, they were this. When they played these teams, they were that. That's the story. The reason LSU fired their head coach is because A&M scored 35 straight points on them. Yeah, it wasn't because A&M won 38-35. He's still their coach in that case.
Yeah. So I agree. Again, of course it's the SIP that does that, right? I mean, he was wearing Longhorn logo Hey Dudes, by the way. Just I did notice that part.
Oh, so. That's peak Longhorn.
That's peak.
Dumb and arrogant.
Yeah, and he said he goes, I graduated from Texas. So he got to the graduated part before I go, when did you graduate kind of thing?
Yeah.
Which I can do because I'm a T-shirt guy myself. But I did. But
it's a great top though.
Thanks,
quarters I want it. I really want it.
But no, I couldn't fathom that fact. And I'm with you. I don't care who we played. We've beaten everybody we're supposed to. We're on our way. And the national people who don't have the bias that we have, or they all see something different in this team.
But by the way. So I was actually talking to my brother Alex yesterday about this, and he's like, but we did complain a lot about Texas's schedule last year. And I'm going to tell you part of the reason we complained, and tell me if you guys agree. Because Texas didn't get to experience the SEC that we experienced.
Correct.
Just like, like back in my day, I had to walk to school, right? Because they didn't have an SEC West with Nick Saban leading Alabama and LSU winning national championships, and we had to play them every year, and Auburn
it's not only that. I mean, Mississippi State, the Dak Prescott and Dan Mullen years, and those were some tough teams. The Ole Miss teams that were tough. I mean, year in and year out, there was no drop in it.
And they didn't. And I'm going to give them props in a second, they didn't get their first night game in the SEC until Kyle Field. That's it. Okay, A&M's already had several night games this year. But I give them props because when it mattered, they turned it on. They almost beat Georgia in the SEC championship game. They beat A&M at the end of the year, and they won a couple playoff games that they could have lost, but they won, and they went toe-to-toe with Ohio State. So they get credit for navigating through that. But the truth was, I was more mad because we talked about the SEC for so long, they didn't really get the SEC we got, and that was more my beef. Anything?
I agree. I mean, we played a decade plus when we started in the SEC, playing every year, playing against the greatest dynasty in college football in probably the last 50 years, going back to that Oklahoma run. I mean, what Saban did at that school during that time frame has not been matched in a long time, probably won't be matched.
No, I doubt it'll ever be matched.
Especially now.
Yeah.
And then we played at Georgia, and that, when they were top two, LSU every other year, and Ole Miss when they were good for a while. So, it's definitely different.
Yeah.
What's on your mind, sir?
Three things.
Okay, let's go.
3 things. So we have wasted a lot of energy and breath on these rankings, right? And they really don't matter now. But Luch did such a good job yesterday.
He did.
Explaining why it does matter, though. Because, as you said, how the committee's viewing Texas A&M, and what if you do drop a game? How far are they going to drop you? They already don't like your opponents right now. And so my first problem is, it's just the concept of committees when you get these people in a room, and I've said it before, but there's helmet bias. If Texas, Georgia, or Alabama played our schedule with our results, they'd be number one, minimum number two. No doubt about it, because it's a bias against a program what the helmet looks like, and we're not getting that. And I get Ohio State is, and I agree with you. I give them credit. I'm fine with Ohio State being number one. And people say, well, there's Indiana sucked for 100 years. There's no bias there. But there is, because they were in the playoffs last year, right? So they have this program establishment.
That's recency
and good
bias.
for them, and good for their coach. I mean, he's,
And they're kind of an underdog story where we're this we've got all the resources. We're the underachievers. They're the underdogs.
Right. And I've always said, if I was on that committee and let's say Baylor was on there, I would probably have a Baylor bias or a Longhorn bias, right? Just because my history, I can't help it. I'm going to walk in the room that way. It's not a bad thing. It's just your inherent beliefs. When you walk in, you have a viewpoint, and that's just the way people are built, right? So so some of the committee, like Ivan Mizell's on that committee, I know, and Billy had some sharp words about a few folks on that committee, right? And Ivan Mizell has degraded Texas A&M for as long back to. I remember him dogging A&M during the RC days, right? So he's going to walk into that room with maybe a tad bit of disdain for Texas A&M, which is going to reflect in the rankings, right?
Yeah,
and we've talked about Mac Rhodes and Heather Dinich, right?
Yeah.
People say, well, she's not on the committee. She's not, but you know what? She's an implant for ESPN. She goes to the Dallas sometimes. Yeah. She goes to Grapevine and talks to all those committee members to report on it for ESPN, right? So I'm just saying there's some influence there. Okay. Second, who you play matters, right? I pulled this up. They want to dog A&M's conference schedule, right? But when you look at Indiana's, they're playing Purdue, Penn State, Michigan State, Wisconsin, Maryland, 1-5, 1-5, 0-6, 0-6, 0-7 in conference, right? Do not compare Maryland and Wisconsin and Michigan State with Auburn, Mississippi State, Arkansas, Florida, right? And here's why. First of all, the non-conference games, SEC's kicking butt, right? Even Auburn's beating Baylor. We got the win over Arizona State. So the conference record deal, especially when we're laying losses on these teams, that's six losses right there on those teams that we've tagged on them already. So when they break it down into these conference teams have a losing record. First, recruiting rankings and the NFL draft says these teams in the SEC are different, right? These kids want to play in the SEC. So when you're playing Auburn and Mississippi State, Arkansas, Florida, I mean, LSU, come on, give me a break.
Missouri.
It's different.
Yeah.
Who you play matters, but this committee's not taking it. So I've already said we've wasted a lot of energy and breath, right, on this. So that's the other thing. This is a magical season. And what we have an opportunity to do Saturday is punch a ticket to something that we've been trying to get in since when this started. 14?
Yeah.
When the playoffs started?
14. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Didn't snip it for a while, and we're on the precipice in 2020. And because of some of this bias I talked about, didn't get to punch our ticket. Saturday, Texas A&M can punch their ticket to the playoff, right?
Yeah.
Because the worst case, if you win Saturday, the worst case is you're going to be 11-1 after that if you drop the game in Austin. So this is huge for this program. South Carolina, again, this is another team I'm talking about. They got NFL guys on the edge at defensive end. They got a first-round draft pick playing corner, okay? If you look at all the prospective drafts. Norris, their quarterback, is a guy who's a game changer. We've seen that. And, you know, he's had moments. He played really well this year. So he's just not getting a lot of help. So this is huge. This is not a cakewalk. It's never going to be in the SEC. So I know that I can already tell from the ticket demand that this is going to be a big game. So we got to do it.
Their defense sucks, though, man.
You can't say that it's not in a vacuum like that. They've had trouble with the running game, but I mean they played good against Missouri. They were putting Alabama in a locker in the fourth quarter.
I was told part of the problem with the defense is the offense has been so bad that the defense is constantly playing, and
they put a lot of onus on them.
They're just exhausted,
and they don't have a Tommy Moffitt.
Those ends are harassing. They've got some good guys in the secondary, so I don't think you can say that.
They lost a lot on offense, though. That's tough. Like their entire offense is Norris.
We had an insider on the show on Tuesday, I believe, and he says it's not a talent issue. He says that he thinks there's more talent at South Carolina this year than there was last year. The difference, he believes, and some of the other insiders I talked to, is the offensive coordinator. Mike Shula was a disaster, and they feel like that's been the biggest difference. We're about to find out.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I can see that.
So in your mind, sir?
First, props to Aggie volleyball. Just kind of keep steamrolling. You know, just a fantastic program, fun to watch. Swept Florida last night. Was that 9 straight or 10 straight victories, something like that? 9.
Yeah, 9.
What's on my mind is it's not specifically this weekend, but I was thinking about this because you're talking about the ticket prices, right? And the lowest get in is like 180, 190 bucks, to get into this game. I mean, we might see 105,000 people for Sanford, because it's been such, like you said, such a magical season.
Yep.
And there's so much to play for. And we also, like, after having a month of not being able to see them in Kyle Field, we only got 2 more.
Yeah.
Right.
And both 11 a.m. kicks, which really is a bummer, but either way.
Yeah. I don't hate 11 a.m.s at home.
No,
I mean, it sucks for tailgating and a lot of other reasons, but I don't hate 11 a.m.s at home. South Carolina hasn't played well enough to kind of earn that primetime spot of a matchup. And there's some good matchups on Saturday as well. They're going to swallow up those slots. But this is something that has been, for me, 46 years in the making kind of thing. And I'm not even talking about winning a national championship, like getting in the playoffs. But going back to the commission thing, and we have wasted a lot of breath on it. The commission, their reasoning behind it reminds me of, and I don't ever kind of want to get into this realm, but it reminds me of like government and politicians. Like they see what they can get away with. Like, what excuse can I make? And if I get away with it, I'll continue to make that excuse and maybe even build on it. I don't think we need a commission. I think we could literally go back to mathematical calculations. I really think we could. Because I get that the eye test is important, but sometimes you look at these rankings, you're like, you're not getting it. Especially when they kind of like, just don't even explain it. Just send out the rankings and end the show.
That's what I'm saying. Just show me the baby.
But I'll be interested to see kind of what happens with the commission just because of Rhodes having to step down. And that was funky. I was listening when y'all broke the news.
Yeah. Well, we didn't break it, but we read the breaking news.
Well, when you re-broke it, yes.
When we announced the breaking
second
news.
hand broke the news.
I'm going to take credit for it. I did it. It was all me. I was working the phones like Billy during the show, getting insider information about Baylor. All right, let's hit a break. When we come back.
So he's not going to be winking at the TV anymore, or we don't know?
Some of his
give me a wink before you give me the bad news, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that supposed to help me?
Take me to dinner first, right?
It's a moment for Caldwell Country Chevrolet. Highway 21 in Caldwell, online, CaldwellCountryChevrolet.com. If you're a business owner and you want to take your operation to the next level and you're looking for a new fleet of vehicles, they'll take care of you there at Caldwell Country Chevrolet. From everything you want, from the service body trucks to the flat, heavy-duty trucks, and also those medium duties. They can handle all the tough jobs, and they have the muscle for your business demands, and they are a newly designated business elite dealer, which means they understand what it takes to keep your company moving forward. And that's not all. Every commercial vehicle comes with that legendary free oil change for life. What you need to do is make that short drive, 15 minutes from the edge of Bryan to the beginnings of Caldwell. Short conversation away, but you'll see the difference when you step on the lot and do business with the great people at Caldwell Country Chevrolet. Highway 21 in Caldwell, online, CaldwellCountryChevrolet.com. All right, guys, let's talk about some new partners, Aggieland Hydration and Injectables. They're Aggie owned and operated. They are an mobile IV hydration company that was founded back in 2024. I met with Sheldon and Danny over the last week, and they're awesome people. They really know what they're doing. They're proud to serve Bryan College Station with awesome services like IV hydration, Botox, and even some weight loss options. Whether you're looking for a quick boost of hydration or dehydration preventative, they can tailor an IV cocktail specific to your needs. And on a busy weekend, I know some of you guys might be partying a little bit too much. If that's the case, an IV can be one of the easiest ways to ensure you're receiving all those necessary vitamins and minerals that make you feel better. Their overall mission is to bring a more personalized and accessible wellness option to the broader range of clientele here in the Bryan College Station and Brazos Valley area. To book an appointment or inquire about it, just call them up or text them. 979-217-1561. Again, it's Aggieland Hydration and Injectables. Check them out. It's our friends at Aggieland Hydration and Injectables. I do got to say this. My mic's on, right? I got to just say this. AT and I I thought it was a friendly conversation. There's a thread on the boards, fan show, brought to you by Prize Picks. We just, like AT and I had this Nick, how would you describe it? We just kind of go back at each other, but in a friendly, that's my guy. I like AT.
Friendly, ribbing, like you do with your boys.
Yeah, I didn't think it was, who heard it? You heard it? No, none of you guys heard it.
I did.
did.
I did.
Was that me?
I think it was like two brothers in a spat.
Okay. I love the guy. He's, again, and I keep saying this, and I apologize for repeating myself. I really don't care, but if we're going to talk, we're going to talk, right? Fine, they're 3, win, 1. Cool. It doesn't really bug me all that much because I can make an argument for Indiana. I can make an argument for Ohio State. Sure, great. But when we start making arguments, I'm going to give you my counter to the argument. And, as you pointed out, I think I actually pointed out to AT, I don't think he liked this part, but looking at the teams that Indiana's recently played, like UCLA, Maryland, Penn State, Michigan State, they're all terrible.
I didn't have any problem with it.
All right.
I like the attitude back and forth.
Thank you. Thread, guys, I like AT. All right, let's move on. You kind of already told us, but I'm going to come back to you. What concerns you, or what are you watching out for against South Carolina? What is something that you're like, I'm a little worried about this?
I mean, I'd start with Lenoris just because I've seen what he can do to people.
Yep.
He's just a big, bad dude. He just kind of is. I don't know that their offensive woes were necessarily just Mike Shula. I don't. I think their offensive line has some struggling issues on the struggle bus a little bit. I think it was AT, or maybe it was John Harris. It was John Harris earlier this morning. He's talking about he may need to run the ball 25 times this game and throw it another 20 to 25 times for them to have a chance. And if he does that with this defense, not last year's defense, because it's in last year's defense, if he does that and we can get home to him and hit him, just hit him every time, by the fourth quarter, that wears you down, man. And if you have no support, from people around you, you feel like it's like desperation. You're the only guy that can win the game. And when you get to be desperate as a quarterback, you start making desperate decisions. And this defense has the ability to capitalize on that. So Lenoris would bug me, and then maybe just the 11 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of wake up a little bit. And we're not known for our fast starts.
By 11 a.m., I've done. I'm kidding. All right, Brownie, what concerns you?
Honestly, it's
Browning pulls out a list. He's like, all right.
No, I don't have a list. But I did.
Scroll.
But it is. It's one of those things where South Carolina. I thought Missouri was going to be our last stretch was going to be the toughest opponent. That was including LSU, right? Even going into it, and that includes Texas. I thought Missouri was going to be our toughest opponent, not only because it was on the road, but also because they're a team that can actually run the ball, right? And we've seen that that's been if we do have a bit of Achilles heel, it's stopping the run. This is a perfect matchup for us. The only thing I come in is the same idea that I heard another guy, one of the national guys say this. He says, can A&M be that golfer who realizes he's on the 15th hole and he's 4 under?
Mm-hmm.
Is he not? Don't let that mentality get into you and then fall apart the last few holes, right? That's what you don't want, and I don't believe that this coaching staff will allow that to happen. So my concern, obviously, 11 a.m. Lenore Sellers is capable of having a huge game, but he would have to be absolutely the most Herculean effort ever to come in this stadium and win. This fan base is going to be that stadium at 11 a.m. is going to probably be one of the most electric 11 a.m. stadiums maybe of all time. You got us coming in at 9-0, wanting to get to 10-0. We've been on the road for a month. It's going to be nuts in there, and no, I don't have a lot of worry.
I don't know. It's the big noon kickoffs, man. 11 a.m. in Champaign, Illinois.
Better watch out.
There haven't been a lot of super exciting 11 a.m.s, and I'll miss some just off the top of my head, like 2011 Baylor with
where Swope had 4 touchdowns.
The Heisman Trophy winner coming in, and then 2000 we played OU. They were number 1 or pushing for number 1, but there hadn't been many. It can be sleepy. That will not be the case Saturday.
It will not be the case.
Let me run this by you. So I played it earlier. I don't know if you guys heard the Todd McShay, and he went on. It was a lot longer than I played.
Right.
But he says if A&M is going to get got, and he mentioned Marcel being the reason. And he was very complimentary of Marcel. Very, very complimentary.
Oh, yeah.
You guys don't have headphones, so you can't, I won't play it for you. But when I think of A&M getting got, I don't think of Marcel being the reason. Can Marcel be a reason they lose if he throws a couple of interceptions in a game? Of course he can be. Of course, right?
Any quarterback can.
And maybe he's gotten away with some. That's what OB has talked about. Like, there's been a couple games in Missouri, he's gotten away with some that should have been picks. Okay, I'm fine with that. But when I make my list of reasons A&M can get got, for the lack of a better term, it doesn't start with Marcel. So where would it start for you guys?
Well, I think y'all made a good point too, though. Todd McShay is looking at it through an NFL lens. So it's a lot like just how he's viewing it is different, right? I mean, it's night and day between what an NFL quarterback is expected to do and does do and what a college quarterback does and how they operate and either manage the game or win games. I'm kind of with you. I mean, yeah, he's gotten away with some, but Marcel doesn't strike me as the kind of person that's gonna, like, if he goes out and makes a mistake or two, he's going to continue to make mistakes and push and push and push. He doesn't strike me as that kind of quarterback. I mean, my only concern is just wrapping up Lenore Sellers.
Yeah.
I mean, but like long term, what do I think could be a problem? Man, I don't know.
Penalties, stopping big plays. Yeah. That's for those are. By the way, just as a reminder,
injuries.
Yeah, of course. Marcel, I think, has been dynamic at the end of games in his career at A&M.
And the way Marcel, he's not afraid to take the risk to throw over the middle, right? And do those things. That's helping us win. I'll take a mistake once in a while.
Yes.
Right? Because he's doing that. But he's not afraid. Yeah. He will put that ball in. I've said he's kind of a thrower, not a passer, right? But we love him, and he's doing a great job. So I actually heard the segment, and yeah, I agree with him. But you're right. He's looking at it from the NFL. Is this guy going to play in the NFL? I don't care. He's playing for Texas A&M.
I've got one step further. Like, we've seen him get better over the season. I mean, we see him get better over 4 quarters every game. It seems like by the time the 4th quarter rolls around, Marcel is playing the best football of the game. We saw it at Notre Dame. Yep. We saw it at Arkansas. It's just, we saw it at LSU when we put the foot on their neck at Missouri. It just, just as the game goes on, it's like this whole team is about, making adjustments.
And if Marcel did have a clunker, we can turn right back to that running game.
All right, we got to hit a break here. We got to stay on the clock because we've got women's basketball coming up, but we'll keep going on TexAgs.com and, of course, our YouTube page. Twin Liquors, Texas family owned since 1937, 100 locations across Texas. They're in your neighborhood. You can stop and drop and just enjoy all the awesome selection that they have where you can celebrate every sip. Effortless gifting with complimentary bag and bow gift wrap custom baskets and perfect wine and cocktail pairing suggestions. And they have deals of the week all the time. And wine lovers, you're going to love this one here. 20% off on 6+ bottles of wine, and from Thanksgiving wine to sparkling with the family, Twin has the perfect pairings for your holiday meal. Shop now through January 3rd. It is Twin Liquors. Check them out. Welcome back to the Fan Show, brought to you by Prize Picks here on TexAgs Live. We go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Luke Evangelist.
Luke.
Hello, everyone.
Tooney.
Hello, Luke.
We're going to start with Arch Manning.
No, we got to tell people about Prize Picks.
Yeah, it's incredible. The leader in daily fantasy sports. You can get free $50 when you play your first $5 in lineups when you use code TexAgs.
Thank you. That was very good. Good job. Big smile on your face.
Yeah, I mumbled my way through that.
That's all right. All right, let's get started.
Arch Manning, quarterback at Texas, more than or less than 220.5 passing yards at Georgia, and he's had over 320 in the last 2 games.
I go less, out of spite.
I'm going to go more than.
I'm going to go more than because he's getting them, and he's getting them late. That's not a big number.
Yeah, I'll go more.
By the way, how did we do last week?
Oh, it was like actually the worst week ever. David, you went 2-5. One of the players didn't play, so we only had 7. Matt 2-5, Hunter 3-4, and Roy 2-5. Okay. Nobody even got to 500.
Yeah, it's not worth talking about.
Yeah, I was way better, y'all.
Yeah, you're the best.
Ty Simpson, more than or less than 1.5 passing touchdowns against Oklahoma.
More.
Less than.
Ooh.
I think I'm going to change it because they don't run the.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah.
It's so hard to figure out how you score, though.
That's one of the 2 I got last week, so I'll take it.
I'm going to go more than.
Yeah, I have to go. I changed mine to more than. He's got 21 touchdowns and 1 pick on the year.
Yeah. Nico Iamaleava, they're playing at Ohio State, more than or less than 113.5 passing yards. That might be the lowest number of the week.
They're playing who again?
Oh, at Ohio State. Oh. Again, I got no problem, no beef with Ohio State. I think they're legit. So
I'm going to say more.
You said 115? Is that the number?
113.5.
I'm going more than.
That's just not much. I mean, 1 explosive and you're almost there.
1 explosive and 2 screens. I'll go more.
They're going to have to throw the
That's
ball.
so low. I got to go more.
Next up, John Mateer playing at Alabama, more than or less than 207.5 passing yards.
I think I'm going more than.
He hasn't hit that since he had his thumb
Prize
surgery.
Picks is up to something. They got all these low numbers, man. They're expecting all the D's to step up. I'm going more than. And I'm not he's okay.
I'm going less.
Yeah, I'll go more.
I don't know if the energy is great on this segment.
Marcel Reed.
It's because we're having to think, so it slows everything down.
It's an 11 a.m. kick, that's why.
Yeah, Marcel Reed, more than or less than 279.5 passing plus rushing yards.
Oh, I'll go more.
I'll go more too.
279?
Yeah, pass plus rush.
More.
Hey, start the chant, right? That's Marcel.
Chant.
He'll go over.
Here we go.
I just got chills over here. David, you going more?
I'm going more than.
Lenoris Sellers, more than or less than 204.5 passing plus rushing yards.
More.
I'm going to go more.
He's their whole team. Absolutely more.
Yeah, that's a low number. I'll go more.
Jordan Faison, the wide receiver from Notre Dame, more than or less than 62.5 receiving yards at Pitt.
Less.
11 a.m. kick at Pitt. Ugh.
I'm going more than because I want.
I'm going less. You never know who the target's going to be for them. Yeah.
He has a coin flip. I'll go more.
And finally, Jacoby Lane, the wide receiver from USC, more than or less than 53.5 receiving yards at Iowa.
More.
No, they're at home.
Sorry, versus Iowa.
Yeah, Iowa at, yeah.
More. I don't know why.
I'm going less.
53.5.
We'll go less than as well.
Less.
All right, that's all we got.
Okay, thank you.
Also, all of y'all did hit a season-long play where you went more than on Casey Concepcion for more than 600.5 receiving yards for the year, and he's already hit that. So congratulations, you all got one more right.
Yes.
I think we talked on the show last week about Mario Craver hitting 1,000 before the end of the season. I want to see where he is right now just to see.
Yeah, that changes, though.
If he doesn't play this weekend, it certainly changes.
But,
775.
but playoff games count, right?
Yeah.
So this is one of those games where, and I know like you don't want to overlook South Carolina, but if he doesn't have to go, don't send him out there.
I guess it depends what the injury.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. You don't know. I mean, is it a little gamesmanship by putting it as questionable? You know, it's.
Yeah. I just want him healthy. Whatever you got to do to keep him healthy.
Hey, I just want to read this real quick. Luke, you can stay for the last minute if you want, or you can leave.
Yeah, of course.
Here's what SEC Mike tweeted about, I guess, his conversation with Jesse Simonton, who used to be at On3. I don't know where he is now. Does A&M look like a national championship caliber team? That's a special team. Appreciate that. The Texas 8-4 jokes are dead. They're 9-0. Jimbo Fisher never won 9 games in a regular season. Mike Elko is a remarkable coach. Everything correct except what?
The Jimbo stat.
Jimbo went 9-1.
No.
So
Well, he was qualifying regular season, maybe.
Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. And by the way, I think Billy said this on the show with Amanda. There's two real possibilities for Texas right now. Texas can go 8-4.
Yes.
Texas can go 10-2.
Hey, don't discount Arkansas. They still got to play Arkansas and Taylor Green.
That's what he's saying. 8-4.
Well, 7-5. They lost to Arkansas.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Oh, Texas can go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, it depends what Arkansas team shows up. The one that played us, really good. The one since then, not that good.
Yeah. I saw somebody on the board, one of the posts on the board. They ran the stats, and in the last 50 years, Texas has averaged 8 wins and 4 losses. Their record over the last 50 years, they're an 8-4 team.
Yeah, especially when you go 5-7 for a decade.
Yeah.
What a great decade that was.
Fun.
All right, Luke, very good job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Luke.
That was good. Let's get some chants in here, shall we?
I just got chills.
Yeah. Marcel Reed. If your organization or your business is looking for an opportunity to engage with Aggies, check out the Association of Former Students. They bring Aggies of all ages together during their marquee events held throughout the year. We're talking fun events like Aggie Ring Day, All Aggie Hullabaloo, and The Gathering. They welcome tens of thousands of guests. And there are many sponsorship and vendor opportunities to get your brand in front of those attendees. And they offer a wide variety of both digital and in-person options. There's also advertising opportunities in both the Texas Aggie Magazine and the Aggie News newsletter, which are seen by over 230,000 people. So if your business is ready to engage with Aggies, choose a partner with the organization that's been supporting the Aggie Network for over 140 years. For more information on options available through the association, please email sponsorships@aggienetwork.com. It is the Association of Former Students. We've got 30 seconds left before we got to hit a break. Gentlemen.
If you're on the zone, stay here, listen to basketball. If you want to watch the rest of the show, go to the YouTube page, right?
What a great ambassador you are for A&M Sports in this show.
I got you, dog.
All right, we will continue it on the YouTube and TexAgs.com, the YouTube like I'm 80 years old. And for those on the zone, thank you so much. We'll see you guys mañana. We'll keep it going, though. All right, we're just going to go for a couple more minutes, guys. I don't know if Alex is ready with Buppy. You can give me a yes or a no. I don't think he's probably ready. So we'll
give me a second. We'll get him set up.
We'll just keep it going here for the YouTube audience, and appreciate everybody tuning in. All right, guys. This game comes down to what? And does A&M win by multiple scores, or is it a tight game? Brownie.
I think this is. I hate getting it. I hate when I'm overconfident. I'm sorry. There's still a little of that in me. I mean, generational trauma, but I think we're going to win by a couple scores. I think this one should be similar to the rest of our SEC games, and you're looking at somewhere in that 30 to 40 point on our side, 10 to 17 on their side. Kind of what I'm thinking.
So like 30 to 17.
Similar to Florida and Mississippi State and
everybody
else.
All the bad teams we've played.
I agree, and I think you may see new offensive coordinator. You're going to see some new wrinkles early on, so maybe they're having a little success early.
Till we change things.
But we have a really established pattern at this point with this football team, and we're going to choke them out second half, and that running game will get going.
Yeah, I think this one could get ugly like late third quarter. But I'm with you. We don't know exactly what's coming with this offense because the new coordinator he can't install an entire new offense in a short time, but there'll be some wrinkles to probably emphasize Lenore Sellers, which is a concern, like we talked about.
Which I want to make sure that I clarify when I've talked about, that's the one thing that concerns me. If you talk to South Carolina folks, they say that they're in all these games, right? The Alabama game was, I think they lost by 10. It might have been 7, but they were in that game.
Yeah.
And they said the biggest problem was the offense. Like, the offense was just horrendous, and they kept Lenore Sellers in the pocket all these games, not allowing him to go run and do his thing. If their defense is semi-good and Lenore is able to get out of the pocket, I think it just changes. I still have the same confidence because I've seen this team do the exact same thing to everybody they've played, but it just adds a different layer of maybe it's not as easy I maybe have thought of 2 weeks ago.
Well,
if we're locked in and focused like we're supposed to be, I think this is an easy win going away.
they're one of the worst teams in the nation as far as giving up sacks, right?
Yeah.
So that's an offensive.
Even up 33
They're
sacks.
130. They're like ranked 130 out of 134.
And we really love getting after the quarterback. So unless
But
they
they were
design
bad
stuff,
last year too.
no, I think they're worse this year. Though.
They are worse.
Yeah,
but what was the stat we got? Last year they had all season long gave up 33 sacks, and I believe it was in the 20s when A&M played them, and A&M got 0.
Right, and we were getting back there to him. He's trying to blow him up, hitting him high, or wrapping his shoulder pads. That's not how you tackle Lenore Sellers. Grab a leg, hold on for your teammates.
This has got to be like old school wrecking crew where 8, 9, 10 dudes are getting to the ball every time.
Yeah, and we're the best in the country at getting to the quarterback. So, I think this is, from a matchup standpoint, this is our best matchup of the season, possibly.
Yeah.
Genuinely. I thought LSU was a really good matchup. If football's a game of matchups, LSU was a fantastic matchup for us. This one's even better.
By the way, we're about to check in with Buppy, but I thought watching Missouri up close, they were a better team than I expected. I knew they were good, but I kind of thought, we killed them last year. That team's significantly better than last year.
They're a good football team. I think another thing, we talk about that South Carolina has talent, up front on defense. I think that's completely negated by what should be the Joe Moore award-winning offensive line across the street.
Oh, yeah.
So what they have done this year has been nothing short of absolutely amazing. And the fact that I was watching the Pulse last night, the first fumble we've given up all year.
Yeah, that is wild.
Ball security, offensive line.
Roy is 100% correct. I will say this. All season, we've talked about that D-line. We've talked about Marcel. We've talked about the running backs. We've talked about Casey and Craver and Bussy and Ashton and all the tight ends. We've rarely spoken about the O-line. And I think that's a good thing because O-line's just that position where if they're good, no one really talks about them. You only really hear about them when they're bad.
Up. Yeah.
And that has been the absolute strength of this team. That is the best unit on this football team. They've been fantastic. We're able to run the ball. Marcel's been sacked, probably less than any other quarterback in the SEC. They've been fantastic. They are imposing their will on other teams. And so, we need to make sure they get more credit. That O-line is outstanding.
Let's go check in with Alex Schoonover, who's showing me a lot of food. And I didn't think I was going to eat during the 10 o'clock hour, but I may have to end the show prematurely because that food looks good. Schoon, what do we got there from Buppy's Catering and Bartending?
Yeah, Mr. Buppy brought some great food choices in today. Some chicken fried steak. We got some mashed potatoes and gravy, some broccoli and cheese, and some rolls, and then a lot of great desserts here. So I know you'll love that.
Yeah, so I'm going to have Buppy cater our Thanksgiving Wednesday. We're having a Thanksgiving on Wednesday for my parents to come up, and then we're going to have a Thanksgiving on Thursday. So I'm going to have Buppy take care of us for that. All right, Schoon, take it away.
So, Mr. Buppy, A&M, South Carolina, Kyle Field. The Aggies have a chance to, ultimately punch their ticket to the college football playoff. What are your thoughts?
It's a special time here in Aggie land. I've been watching Aggie football since the late 70s, and there's nothing better than a great football team. And, here at Kyle Field, and we need the 12th man to show up early on Saturday and root for this great football team that we have in front of us.
Yeah, you told me you wanted to tell David about your little TexAgs Buppy slogan.
Okay. One thing I'd like to say, we've got Coach Elko, TexAgs, and Buppy's Catering and Bartending. That is one championship combination.
You heard it, David. Mr. Buppy, back to the studio.
I did hear it. We're going to have, so Nick, help me remember. It's Coach Elko, A&M football, and Buppy's Catering and Bartending is a championship. What was the last line? Championship what?
Combination.
We're going to make that shirt. Front, back.
Glad to see you sticking with the chicken theme. This is one of the easiest weeks of the year to figure out what you're going to cook, right? If you're trying to stay themed with our opponent. I'm doing beer can chickens this week, and I'm excited.
Yeah. Got to beat those cocks.
Yes, you do.
I didn't mean it like that. All right. That'll do it.
For a whole 3.5 hours.
I didn't mean it like that. Oh, my God.
He did. He absolutely meant it like that.
That'll do it.
Hey, you know what? I think it's funny. Way to go, David.
I'm going to get in trouble on that one. Anyway, thanks so much, everybody, for watching and listening. We will see you guys mañana with the final countdown.